We're so back. We're so back, everyone. How are we all going? What's up, Vera? What's up, Cole? What's up, Joey? Joey, you're such a football nerd. What are you up to, Joey? Hey, I hope you're good. First things first, okay? There's a sound. There was a microphone situation when I fired up the stream the other day. Hopefully I've got on top of it. I've pulled the gain back a little bit. I'm looking at my levels and it looks okay. Doesn't look too hot. Unfortunately, I can't tell exactly what's happening from my monitor because my monitor's not telling me when it blows out. And I'm having microphone first world problems, you know. Ephemica, just to be absolutely clear, I am your host, Regular Mike. I'm not letting any of the other mics from the MSL run the show. That's not going to happen. Welcome along, Ephemica. Hello, Master. Hello, Jackson. I hope you're good. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Today in New Zealand, it's a special day today here in New Zealand. It's Waitangi Day, which means it's a public holiday, which means we might have some people from New Zealand actually watching today instead of being in school or at their stupid jobs or whatever, you know? Waitangi Day is like, it's an important day here in New Zealand. It's when the Treaty of Waitangi, Te Tiriti o Waitangi, in Te Reo Māori, it was signed back in 1848, I want to say. I'll be corrected on that, probably. There's bad things about it, there's good things about it. But it's a day when we have a day off and we reflect on our little country here, our little country New Zealand. We reflect on ourselves. We reflect on our native population here in New Zealand as well. And we consider what we're doing not so good and we could do better regarding our native population here in New Zealand. But hey, that's what it is. It's Waitangi Day. It's a day off for everyone. And we've got lots to talk about and lots to do. Hello, Superflip, tuning in from Austria. Mango Cuber is here, waiting patiently for American Mike. American Mike's not in. He's going to be later in the season when he comes in for his game, so I've got plenty of time to practice. Jackson Lewis, why can't we have nice things? Well, we will discuss why we can't have nice things today. When we get into what we're getting in about, because we're going to talk a lot about the Premier Speedcubing League, and I've got an issue straight off the bat. Cade and MSL does start today. I've got an issue straight off the bat with the PSL. Luckily, I could just call it the PSL. But for all my American friends who are watching, you're probably going to say Premier. Premier. Now that Premier, that's a word and a pronunciation that doesn't really exist either where I grew up or where I live now. So for me, it's always going to be Premier. Premier Speedcubing League. But I'm at PSL. That'll do just fine. Dylan Miller in the chat. Welcome along. Maybe we can get Dylan on to talk about the PSL, actually. I can't talk to Michael Chai today because time zones. But I am going to speak to him early next week about the PSL. And I think we're going to frame that around all the questions that people are yapping to him about the PSL. And we're going to actually, that's the subject of like why can't we have nice things title, because we are going to just have a look at some of the naysaying and the negativity that has surrounding it already. This thing that hasn't even started and people don't know all the information about, but people are already being like, wow. Hello, Snake Runner. Kia ora from the South Island. But today's stream brought to you by, of course, Speedcube Shop. Use code Cubecast for 5% off there. Cubing Life Academy. Use code 5%. Use code Cubecast for 5% off any of their courses. And also, of course, brought to you by our amazing channel members, the official Timmies, Curious Nick, John Baxter, Ben Handelman from chess.com, Glenn's Cubing Corner, James Melby, and JDB the Cube Guy, who is a new member as well. Thank you so much to all my channel members. You want to become a channel member? You can do that for just a couple of bucks a month, and you will get access to sick emojis, or emoticons or whatever, and you'll appear. You get a special. I think you get a special color in the chat, and also you get to see all my videos like way before everyone else, because I'll make all my videos from the stream like today and tomorrow, and they'll be up ready to go for members. But you've got to wait until they're released, because I release them daily for everyone else. So that's nice, isn't it, everyone? And great value at just $2 a month. So thank you to the sponsors. Thank you so much to all my channel members as well. What's going to happen today, everyone, is as follows. First of all, Season 4, everyone. Season 4 of Cubecast. Can you believe it? I actually can't believe it. I can't believe it. Season 4. I actually turned up for a thing. At the end of Season 4, that'll be an entire year of Cubecast. Those of you who don't know, the seasons are all framed around school terms for my children, because that's when I'm able to stream. So we have 4 seasons a year, but I started in term 2 last year. So this is Season 4. We'll have Seasons 4, 5, 6, 7 this year. And we also hit 5,000 subscribers the other day, which is pretty epic. Pretty epic, actually. I'm really blown away by that. Like, next stop 10, dare I say? That's not what I'm going to put as my little goal up on the homepage there, the channel page. 6K will be the next goal. You know, let's keep it humble. Let's keep it humble. So yeah, that's really exciting. 5,000 subscribers, incredible. 6 members, incredible. Let's see if we can up those numbers this year, say. Let's see what happens. So, what are we doing today? The big ones, I've got some news and announcements and stuff at the start, which we'll talk about, and a bit of sort of admin. We've got MSL, the Mike Speedcubing League. Me 1 versus Me 2 Speedcubing. If you saw the stream on Tuesday when I was sort of setting up for this stream, you'll understand what's happening there. Jackson Lewis, 5.1K next. I know, right? Woo! The sky's the limit, baby. We're going to look at the MSL, which is it's a double elimination bracket Speedcube competition. Look, I know everyone's talking about the PSL. Try not to get distracted by that. The real competition is happening right here, and it's Me 1 versus Me 2 Speedcubing happening here on Cubecast. So rather than doing an average of 5 every week, I'm going to have a best 3 out of 5 match. Versus 16 versions of myself. So today we'll have Me 1, regular me, versus Me 16, sarcastic me. Then next week we've got monosyllabic me versus FTO me. That's 8 and 9 respectively. Then we've got Me 6, noob me versus Me 11, blind me. Then Me 3, even older me versus Me 14, Gen Alpha me. A lot of hype around that match. A real clash of cultures coming up in match 4. We've then got Pro Cuber me 4 versus Me 13, grind set me. We've got probably going to be a problematic stream. We might get demonetized, but in match 6 we've got Me 5, even more Scottish Mike, against Me 12, far away Mike. I might break some equipment that day as well. That's going to be issues. And then match 7 we've got Me 7, zesty Mike versus the favorite among the American audience, Me 10, American Mike, is going to be match 7. We've got 2 spots left. Me 2 and Me 15 are as yet unnamed and unclaimed. It's up to you to give suggestions for those two mics, okay? Joey Football Nerd, bruh, the Mike Speedcubing league, you know it. It's going to be a banger. Caden, we are still doing the waving outro thing. We'll talk about that in a minute. Curious Nick predicts that the MSL will be a huge success. I appreciate the support, Nick. Official Timmy there as well. No chair Speedcubing League, Vera. The chair, where was the chairs? That was at Oceanic Championships. That was hectic, wasn't it? The MSL could be a new cube by MS Cube. That's valid. The Mike Extended Universe. The Mikeverse. Curious Nick, opposite Mike. Clonk Mike. We could have Clonk Mike is valid, actually, Vera. I do actually like Clock. So that'd be a good one. We've got FTO Mike and we've got Blind Mike. Blind Mike is going to be a challenge. Again, I'm pulling back the curtain here, but all of these mics are actually me. So I have to talk with authority about blind solving, and I don't know anything about blind solving. So that's going to be a challenge. But Clock Mike, maybe I can talk about that because I still need to learn, don't I? You all did some super chats at the end of last year, so I have to learn 7 Simul. That is a thing that actually has to happen. Dylan Miller pointing out that the MS3L was the first MS Cube, actually, so kind of already exists. That's valid. Now, Austin brings up a valid point. how is the mic sounding? Because there were issues last week with it blowing out and peaking. I've pulled the gain right off. And my levels are looking good in OBS. I can't hear any distortion in my headphones. Maybe I need to pull up the stream and find out for myself, hey? Let's just do that. Would that be too meta? I'm just going to do it. Bear with me, everyone. I've got just a little bit of equipment admin. I need to just... Oh, it was right there, idiot. Why didn't I press on that? Looking good in OBS. I can't hear any distortion in my head. That sounds good. Happy days. Okay, happy days. I'm very happy with that. That sounds great. Looks like the mic is operating as expected. Efemica, well, we've got Noob Mic. And Noob Mic is basically Timmy Mic. Shall we change his name to Timmy Mic? Where's Noob Mic? There he is. Me6 is Noob Me. Let's change him to Timmy, because it's basically the same. And then it's on brand to call him Timmy. Yeah, we've got Zesty Mic as Me7. Yeah, we've got that. Forgetful Mic or Confused Mic, Curious Nick, is basically, that's number one. That's Me1, regular me. You know, that's a tough one. Popey Jopey Awick Mic. Oh, he kind of exists already in the extended Michael universe on the speedcube.co.nz. On the Speedcube shop channel. I think we're doing an Awick next week, are we, Jaden? Is that the idea? We couldn't get one in. We couldn't get one in this week. Jackson Lewis, British Mike. I don't see. We could do Brexit Mike, actually. That would be quite funny. That might get me in trouble a little bit, but I'm not sure if there's many like radical Brexiteers watch my stream. But Brexit Mike, that's got possibilities, actually. What was I talking about? Elsewhere on the show. Yes, we're going to do the MSL. First match of the MSL is coming up. We're going to talk about the PSL. It's not as important as the MSL, but we're going to talk about the PSL. I think we'll probably watch StuCube's video, and then I'll give you a bunch of other things that you should look at. We're going to talk about the PSL, and I'm probably going to explain what I feel about it, what I think about it, and just some thoughts on it. And then we're going to move into talking about the PSL specifically in how it's been received, specifically in Cubers Friends and on YouTube, I suppose, actually, as well. I don't want to drop anyone in it or cause any trouble. It's not what I'm here to do. But I am going to talk about, so one of the things that came out about it was Clicky Studios did a sort of emergency podcast episode about it, and I'll reference that as well. I think we're gonna. This feels quite retro, but we're gonna talk about the GAN Square One, everyone, very briefly. We're gonna talk about that. We're going to talk about. This one's slightly saucy. We're gonna talk about. I don't know far out. Let me have another crack at that. I don't know how many of you are up to speed on what happened with a fairly small channel called Cubing with Arsen. They basically arsoned their own channel, in a way. Excuse the pun. It's not great. It needs work, that pun, actually. But he made a video valid in its intention to sort of talk about CubeRoot and all that stuff that he's been accused of and everything. But the video he made was very, very bad. In specific ways, it was very, very bad. His channel is now gone. Arsen's not Ukrainian. No, he's Irish, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, his channel's gone. Strikes happened. I want to talk about it. There's a lot to talk about there. I'm not going to rip into his video too much. I will talk about it, but I want to talk about what's happened since then, and maybe just like talk about how we're conducting ourselves and things we have to be wary about, despite our feelings. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't really know exactly what that is yet, but we're going to talk about it, and we're going to look specifically at his apology post that he made in Cubers Friends, which was kind of wacky. It was kind of wacky, but we'll flip that around. EduCubes, his PFP is like a Ukrainian flag. That might be related to the Ukrainian war thing. You never know. We might, if there's time, we'll talk about some hardware. There's the Ferrocore Worm V10. Ferrocore. What the hell is that? I don't know. Let's find out, shall we? Let's find out together. And then YJ made a 3x3 that Phil doesn't hate. Oh? Really? Can it be? Have YJ actually landed a decent 3x3? Phil, you got an early prototype. So did Andy Mock. He hasn't said anything about it. But he has got a couple of videos about it. Prosta in the chat. Wait, someone else is taking the cubing heat? Thank God. Yeah, you're off the hook for this episode, Prosta. You're good. Ed Cubes, get out! Look, chill, all right? Everyone chill. Did YouTube delete his channel regarding Arsen? The claim that he's made is that he received multiple copyright strikes from China. My understanding is that he can protest those, or he can at least reach out, but I don't know. Andy Chavers already doesn't want a YJ. All right, and that's fair. That's fair. Listen, I'm going to level with you. I haven't solved a cube in at least 2 or 3 weeks. So I feel like I should just... there'll be a few extra solves today. What I'm going to do is knock out an average of 5, just for me. Wait, is that giving regular Mike an advantage, though? Okay, I'm going to knock out a couple of... I'm going to knock out some solves as commentator Mike, okay? Just to be clear. Because I don't want to give... regular me an unfair advantage in this first match of the season. I would hate for there to be controversy in the first match of the season. I can't believe how much content I'm giving everyone here. Like, you wait. +3 podcast is basically going to be having a field day. It's all going to be about MSL. Next Speedcube video is probably going to be about MSL, about how it's going to change speedcubing. It's going to be... You're not going to be able to escape the MSL because it's going to be such high stakes, incredible speedcubing. Where cube? Oh, I got a new cube, everyone. Hold on. I got a new cube. I treated myself to one of those tornadoes with blue bits. Look. Ooh, look how beautiful it is. Have I set it up? No. Will I set it up? Maybe. What? Bald reveal. You all know I'm bald. It's not a reveal. It's hot in here. Whew. All right, so what I'm going to do is just... No, hold on a minute. This is not going to work. There we are. Mango, just 2 FTO, no advantage for anyone. That would be... Like, anyone who actually sat to watch that stream of me trying to work out how to solve an F2O would deserve a medal for bravery, frankly. Hey, let's get some solves happening. Grab a cube, everyone. Get a cube. What are you doing? Right, we don't want the me one. Let's just go to this session here. This will be fine. Okay, we're going to warm up. It's going to be ugly, okay? Master, it's burning my eyes. I need that... on my buttons, I need to have that SpongeBob clip, you know, where Neptune takes off his crown and they go bald, bald, bald. I nearly used that in a video once, actually. Did I publish that? I can't remember. But I was yapping about something and I took my hat off and scratched my head and I put that clip in. Pretty cool story, hey? Stick around for more. Like and subscribe. Okay, everyone, grab a cube. Grab a cube, because here we go. First solves of the year for me. That's embarrassing to say in February, isn't it? If you're ever confused about why I'm so slow, that's why, because I just... Too much yapping and just not enough practice. Alright, are we all ready? You're all ready, aren't you, Timmies? Let's go. Okay, this is a weird one. Don't love it. Don't hate it. It's gone okay. Okay. Changed what I was doing. I got distracted. Where's that? Okay, fat-handed. Okay, great. Love to see it. Ooh, this is pretty ugly, everyone. Oh, and there was a pair sitting in there as well. That's poo. Okay. Okay. Like, literally first solve of the year, and it's very, very ugly. Whoops. I'm just gonna rip through this so we can get into the league. All right. I thought maybe I'd do some practice last night. I just cooked that scramble. I thought maybe I'd do some practice last night, but I was out sailing last night. Look at my rope burn, because I'm an idiot. For those of you who are cool sailors like me, I was crossing the boat during attack, and I leant on the jib sheet, everyone. I leant on the jib sheet, everyone. And as they were pulling it, and yeah, fully cooked my arm. So that hurt. Okay, we can live with this, but it's a miss scramble. I know that. Oh dear. Oh my. Oh my. They're going to be slow matches today, everyone. I can tell you that already. It's going to be first to 3, best of 5. So it won't take too much of your time. But it's always a fair fight because it's always me, you know? 23 is a bit better. That's where we want to be. Chimmy Shark. No, I haven't talked about PSL. We're just getting started today. Mango with a 13? Sir? Is that your first solve of the year? What are you up to? Surely not. R2-D2. There he is. Did that work? Have I got... Oh yeah, there's my desktop. A little round of applause for absolutely nothing. Oh, that's okay. That's a sarcastic round of applause for you, Mango, for your 13. I'm such an asshole. Why does everyone watch this? Okay. Here we go. Whoa. Turned that the wrong way. You're good. You're good. Get in there. Oh. Little J-perm for a 21. Okay, okay. This does need some lube. I might have to... I haven't done anything to this yet. It's going to need a little cube sauce. Going to need a little bit of that special sauce. 11 for Mango. What's up, Rubik's Cuber? Welcome back. What's up, Cubing Pizza? Okay, let's go over here and do one more. No, not one more. 2 more. Let's get an average and then see where we're sitting. Then we can get into the first match of the MSL, which I know is the reason most of you are here. Nobody really wants to hear me talk about the PSL. You want the red hot racing action. Oh, disgusting F2L. Everything's in the bottom layer. You know? Oh god, an E-perm. It works like that. I remembered. Come on, everyone, let's get it. L prime D2. Prosta with a 17. Mango sub 10. There it is. There it is. Vera with a 17. Antoine, hello. Let's... Ugh. Kind of gross. But, okay. I'll put that one in and then that one. Oof. Oof. Where? Peace. This cube's broken. That's my major complaint about the Tornado V4 is that there's an edge missing. Nope. Ooh, skill issue. Major skill issue. 50 for a 25 and an average of 26. Okay, woof. That's what we're looking at, everyone. That's what we're looking at today, okay? We're coming in hot with an average of 26 for the first match in the MSL. Let's get into it, shall we, everyone? Welcome to the first match in the Mike Speedcubing League. Me 1 versus me 2 Speedcubing. Here's how it's going to work, everyone. We've heard a lot of talk about the double elimination bracket. That's what we're running here, okay? That's what we're running here. Let me explain to you how it works, because I've had to look up how it works, okay? So here's what's going to happen. We've got some matches set up here. 16 competitors, 16 versions of me will battle it out for the chance to win the grand prize of absolutely nothing. Maybe I'll treat myself to... I want to buy a new microphone, but it's like $600. My wife found out, so if she sees it, she's going to know. So I'm going to have to navigate that. But anyway, I'll treat myself to something. I do need a new monitor as well. I'll treat myself to something. Or maybe I'll treat you guys to something. I don't know yet. But anyway, 16 competitors. 16 of the world's greatest mics are going to battle it out for the chance to be crowned MSL Champion Season 1. It's going to last all year, this championship, because there's going to be so many matches, like 30 matches or 31 or something. Anyway, what happens in a double elimination, right? So let's have a look. Today, for example, we got me 1, regular me, versus me 16, sarcastic me. First to 3 wins. That's it. Solve to solve. First to 3 wins, and they make it through to round 2. The loser of that match goes into this, the loser's bracket, okay? So the loser of match 1 will play the loser of match 2. And then make it through to here. So the first 8 losers will go in here. Is that right? Yeah, there's only 8 losers, yeah. 8 losers will battle it out for a place to go here. Then that'll whittle them down to 4. Now, you're thinking, but wait, these 2 go in there, but what about this guy? Well, this guy will be the loser from the first round 2 match. Does that make sense? So you have to, the reason it's called a double elimination bracket is that to get knocked out, because this is a knockout tournament, to be fair, to be clear, to get knocked out, you have to be defeated twice. So you get 2 chances, right? If you're defeated in the main bracket, you're then knocked into the loser's bracket. But here's the thing. I think this is like a slightly modified double elimination bracket, because the final will be the winner of the winner's bracket versus the winner of the loser's bracket. But Mike, that's not fair. How come the winner? Why isn't it just the 2 winners? Because they will both be the only person. They'll be the only competitors left who have only lost once, right? Because or no times at all. The winner of the winner's bracket hasn't lost any matches. The winner of the loser's bracket has only lost 1 match. Does that make sense? And then by the time, and then they have a fight in the final. Does that make sense? It makes about as much sense as I need it to make sense for my head. Does it make sense for you guys? I don't know. But that's what we're doing, okay? That's the plan. So, I've not really practiced this yet, but I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing. But first of all, we're going to meet our competitors. Welcoming, first of all, he's just taking a seat now. I can see him over here in the commentator's booth. It's regular me. How are you, regular me? Welcome along. Lovely to have you here. Thank you so much for having me. So excited to be taking part in the MSL. I think this is the future of speedcubing, honestly. The double elimination bracket is great. Obviously, PSL copied the MSL. Obviously, that's what's happened there. They know it's the winning system. They've taken it and made it for themselves. Regular Mike coming in pretty hot with the take there that this is, in fact, the original Premier Speedcubing League. Yeah, you know, I'm confident that all of my ideas are original and they're also incredible. So that's where I'm coming from. Whoa, you're quite fat-handed, first of all, there, regular Mike. You've got a bit of an ego, more than regular Mike. I'm realizing now as well. Yeah, I think possibly maybe I'm not regular Mike. Maybe I'm like egomaniac Mike, but I've just come in disguised as regular Mike. Well, regardless, regular Mike is who you're listed as on the competitor sheet. That's who you'll be playing today. What's your strategy for today? I'm going to be throwing down some... I'm not holding back. I'm going to be coming in hot with around 26-second 3x3 solves, which I think is going to absolutely cook the competition. And is gonna see me right. I'm going all the way through. I'm going all the way to the top. Thank you so much, regular Mike. I appreciate the insight there. Best of luck with your first match of the tournament. Me 16 Sarcastic Me is just taking a seat now. Let me know, Sarcastic Me, how have you been prepping for the competition? What's been your strategy? Well, obviously, I've been practicing loads. Okay, it's an unusual take to be not practicing. Do you think that strategy of not practicing is going to set you up well for this match day against regular me / egomaniac me? Oh yeah, because not practicing is the way to get it done. Hey, that's what I need, right? Okay, cool. Thank you for that, Sarcastic Mike. We are I'm hearing in my ear now, we're from the producers, we're ready to go. The competitors are taking their place over at the solving station right now, and we are going to be starting today's match with me. One regular me is going to be setting the first time. Of course, you're welcome to play along at home. The judges are just getting things scrambled up and sorted for them now. Let me know in the chat, who are you rooting for today? This might need a poll, actually. We've had the sort of pre-match interview. Who is going to win? Me 1 regular Mike, or me 16 Sarcastic Mike. In the sort of pre-season press conference that we had on Tuesday, there was a lot of support, a lot of people really vibing on Sarcastic Mike. He was a bit of a fan favorite off the bat. But here we go. We're getting regular Mike is looks like he's ready. He's now inspecting, getting ready to lay down this first solve. It looks promising. Regular Mike, of course, like all the other mics, only able to solve very slowly on white. No interest in learning to be color neutral at all. In fact, to quote regular Mike, being color neutral is akin to witchcraft, and he doesn't support it. So getting on to the OLL now. There's a little fish there. He's going to orientate it the right way, looking for a T-perm to finish. Nice and clean with a one little AUF at the end there for a 23.94 for me. One regular Mike. I'd love to see that. Me 16 now stepping up to the plate. Just a reminder, everyone, we are looking for the best of 5 today. So that's the first person to get 3 wins is going to be your winner. Not a bad start, actually, from regular Mike. Let's see what Sarcastic Mike is going to bring to the table. He's rolling his eyes at this scramble. That could, honestly, with Sarcastic Mike, could mean anything. So let's see what he plays there. Nicely sets up the for a little free pair right at the start there for blue and orange. Green and red looks good for that second case. Setting up for the OLL. It's looking good, everyone. It's, what's it called? Oh, no. Commentary Mike potentially put off Sarcastic Mike there. That's really unfortunate. There's probably going to be an appeal and a hearing about that. 33, Mike messed up the U-perm with a V-perm. I forget the difference. That's why they hire me for the commentary here, everyone. So regular me, Mike, is taking the first point there. There may be some follow-up to that to see if there's going to be an appeal by Sarcastic Mike being put off by the voices in his head. Now, what's going to happen now, everyone, because regular Mike started, we are actually going to look at, we are actually going to see the next solve. Sarcastic Mike is going to be starting at the round this time, so he gets the Gets the ability to go first. Commentary mic already causing issues, so we're going to see how that progresses in the league. Early results are in. Fan favorite Sarcastic mic leading the poll at 67%. Okay, solve number 2, everyone. Here we go. Sarcastic mic. Just inspecting now. Having a look, seeing what you can see. He doesn't love it. He doesn't hate it. He's kind of ambivalent, honestly. We haven't specifically got an ambivalent mic, but Sarcastic mic doing a good job of holding down that kind of attitude right now. 2 pairs are in. He's looking for that third. Orange, blue, leaving him with red, green at the back here. It's for a case 2. It's okay. We'll take it. There's our hook. There's... Oh, no. What have I done? I mean, what has he done? Absolutely cooked himself again. I think the nerves have got to Sarcastic mic, honestly. Why perm? Why? Because I got a 37. Disgusting. The door is wide open now for regular mic to take a substantial lead here. That was cringe as I messed up a U-perm, I think. No. I messed up the headlights OLL. Or, you know, Sarcastic mic did. This is hard. Have I bitten off more than I can chew here? Almost certainly. Regular mic now getting ready for his second solve. He doesn't hate what he sees. I see a little smile on his face there. I think he knows it's GG's at this point. 1 is in. He likes the look of that blue-red. He loves the look of that red-green. Just the green-orange to go now in the back left for a hook. And then an hourglass. And then, what's this? It's a T-perm again. He loves it. Absolutely loves it. No AUF required for a 21.67. Taking regular mic into a screaming lead here. It's now match point. 1 set is all we're looking at today. Me 1. Regular mic is going to lead us into this third solve. Are we looking at a clean sweep straight away in the first match of the MSL? We've absolutely killed the viewer count on the stream, so that's a good sign. I love to see it. Regular mic getting ready to lead us into the third solve of the tournament here. Was that 21? That was the tournament best solve so far as well. You want stats? We got stats here, everyone. Sort of, kind of. Are we ready? Are we good? Okay, here we go. That's an error by regular mic here. Okay. Looking for that green-orange. He found it. No worries. Oh, no, that's another error. Okay, lots of unforced errors appearing in regular mic solves now. Just getting a little bit too confident. There's a fish. Put it on its tail. That's an F-perm. Whoa. Whoa. Managed to keep it together for a very, very scrappy 28 there. The disadvantage of an unset up cube obviously is starting to kick regular mic in the butt here. So coming in, what's our mean? 24.6 for me 1. That's stinky. Let's see. Well, it's not as stinky as Sarcastic mic's looking over here. So this is match point, everyone. We've got 28 to beat. The door is ajar. It's not wide open, but the door is ajar here for Sarcastic mic, who has been unable to land a solve under 30 seconds today, which is pretty embarrassing. R2D2's here. We love to see it. L prime. R2. Double R2D2. Is this a sign? Is this a sign? Let's find out. Sarcastic mic looks like he likes this cross, but then he would never admit that. He'd probably be really snarky about it, you know how he is. That's the cross done, everyone. Absolutely breakneck speed. He nearly put oh, that was a lovely little setup. Nearly put a pair in the wrong place, but he's setting himself up nicely for that final blue-red pair. There's a fish with a regular soon. This is an R. R-perm with a U2 for 24. Me 16 redeems himself there taking the 24, which beats the 28 of me 1. Very nice. We have a match here, everyone. Oh, that's what I did. I broke that. So regular me with 2. Sarcastic me finally making some ground back here. Is this a comeback story? Is this what we're looking at today? So me 16, Sarcastic Mike to solve. Is this content, everyone? Is this going to be fun? Have I cooked myself here, or is this going to be fun? I've kind of committed to the whole season. The whole year, actually. Is that an error? Let's find out. Okay. Sarcastic Mike setting the pace here on this 4th solve. I can see some good stuff in here. It's pretty good for, you know, your kindergarten white cross solver. There's a free pair on red white, an easy one on blue orange. I meant to say I got the color wrong there, but I'm also trying to concentrate. It's really hard. I don't like this at all. I've made a mistake. That's the one. That one. It doesn't have a name. That's a. Oh no, it's that one. V perm or something for a 24. Honestly, not too bad for Sarcastic Mike. 24 is where Sarcastic Mike's want to be. He's obviously got a handle on his nerves now. Bringing that mean down below 30 as well. Me 1 has actually got some work to do. He was looking real confident here with a 23-21, but that 28, has that rattled him? Has that rattled regular Mike's confidence? Can he pull it back after the disappointing results he saw in the last one? Letting Sarcastic Me back in there potentially. Oh, geez, the vote has changed. The popular opinion has now swung completely in the favor of regular Mike. Looking the public saying that they reckon regular Mike is going to win by 55%. It was 67% leaning towards Sarcastic Mike earlier, of course. So the crowd has really turned on Sarcastic Mike. He talked a big game, but he hasn't brought any game. Although as he's slowly warming up and slowly finding his way in the competition, he's giving us something to watch. He's giving us something to get excited about. Regular Mike making some really interesting calls in this F2L. It's pretty ugly, but it feels like a safety at this point. There's an error. He has he has made a mistake in the F2L, which is really going to cost him. There's the V for a 38. My word, it comes down to this. What a comeback we are seeing from Sarcastic Mike right here. What an incredible match we have got for you on the first match of the MSL here on Cubecast. Brought to you by Speedcube Shop, Cubing Life Academy, and my store, speedcube.co.nz. Woo! That was embarrassing. Okay. Me 1 is setting the pace on this, the 5th and final solve of today's matchup. He likes what he sees. I can already tell. I'm in the wrong window. I need to put that back to 2. Okay, there we are. So, yeah, all right, here he goes. Woo, Sarcastic, no, regular Mike, me 1, setting the pace on this, the 5th and final solve of the competition today. Not the competition entirely. This competition, of course, will go on for what feels like my entire life. Where's green red? There it is. Big pause. Big pause there from regular Mike, who is clearly shaken by the comeback of Sarcastic Mike. Y-Perm, I think, for a 23. That's right in the pocket of where he wants to be. Regular Mike wants to be sitting there with a 23. This is coming down to the wire. Match point in Solve 5. We've seen 24s in the last 2 solves from Sarcastic Mike. What can he pull out? What can he pull out in this, the final solve? Sarcastic Mike just waiting for the scramble now from the delegate. Delegate Mike. R2D2. There he is. Back prime, LT, B prime. Okay, here we are. A hush descends over the entire live studio audience of one. The poll now sitting at 50-50. What an incredible first match we've had here. It looked like a clean sweep. Sarcastic Mike could not get it together. For this match point solve, he is going to need to bring his A game. He's going to have to remember how to do the cube, and he's going to have to do the cube to completion in order to win the cube competition. All right, there's some insight. Manu, write that one down. That was fire. Okay, here we go. Sarcastic Mike starting his inspection. The pressure is really on now. It's not a great looking cross. He's not super stoked on it. Okay. That was an error straight away. So he's solving five pairs straight off the bat. Don't want to see that. There's a dot. You don't want to see that either for a line. Redemption on the OLL. Oh, for 25. And that means the regular me by just a couple of seconds, I think was a 2 seconds in it. Sarcastic me with the 25 versus the 23.12. Regular Mike has taken the first match and is moving on into match 2. Let's just catch up with a bit of admin here. So me won. Regular Mike has taken the W, being their first competitor to move on to round 2. And then me 16. Sarcastic. Mike has moved into the losers bracket. He is going to be competing against the loser from match 2, which will either be monosyllabic Mike or FTO Mike. Incredible scenes here. Curious Nick, the commentary rolling in now. Curious Nick, he almost had it. If only Sarcastic Mike had a little more luck, skill, and maybe a time machine. If only, you know, it's just, that's how close it is here. These are the margins we're talking about in the Mike Speedcubing League, and me 1 versus me 2 Speedcubing. It literally comes down to those tiny little points, like, do you have skill and a time machine? Congratulations, regular Mike. We're gonna have a catch up with Sarcastic Mike first of all. The players are just making their way over now from the competition area back over to the commentary booth here. Sarcastic Mike, listen, it was a valiant effort, and I think you really had the crowd behind you to start with there. But you know, regular Mike came in real hot. What thoughts on the match? Where do you think you went wrong? Well, I mean, solving the cube faster would have been a good thing to do. Like, that would have been good. Hey, definitely some valuable insight there from Sarcastic Mike. Listen, you're the first in the losers bracket. It's not over yet. It's a double elimination bracket is what we're looking at. How are you going to be prepping for, you know, you've got a big gap now. We've got like 7 weeks until you're going to be playing again in the losers bracket. What are you going to be doing in the meantime to get yourself ready for your first losers bracket match, which will be against either monosyllabic Mike or FTO Mike, 2 unknown quantities as far. Well, I'm definitely going to be practicing heaps. Okay, great. Thank you so much for that, Sarcastic Mike. Regular Mike making his way into the booth now. Regular Mike, you came in with a bit of fire, a bit of ego earlier on when we spoke to you. Clearly, it's got yourself in the right headspace. You're feeling you're looking pretty hot first through into the winners bracket. Yeah, look, you know, I came here with a job to do, and it was to wreck my competition. Okay, that's what I came here for. Considering wrecked, Sarcastic Mike is now in the losers bracket. What else do you want me to say? Like, what do you want me to say? A lot of speculation in the league that you are actually egomaniac, Mike. What do you want? What have you got to say to those allegations? This is just me. This is my whole just true self. You know, I'm spicy. I'm zesty. I'm competitive. I'm ready to bring some heat. You know, I think maybe just people haven't seen the real me and they're getting a glimpse of me now. You know, I think that's maybe what's happening. Regular Mike, thank you very much and congratulations on the win. That concludes our first match of the MSL, the Mike Speedcubing League, for this season. It's taking a long time. It's already 20 past 10, so I'm going to have to work out how we can keep this clean for the rest of the year. But anyway, there we are. First match of the MSL done, all wrapped up. Regular me has taken it. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our channel members. We appreciate you. We really appreciate you. All right, okay, there we go. Going to end that poll. Going to end the competition. That was fun, everyone, wasn't it? Master. Mike, do you have bipolar by any chance? I think this might be part of my diagnosis for a number of things. All right, let's get into some stuff, shall we? Let's get into some content. First of all, a couple of people have mentioned it so far. We are going to do a little bit of admin for the stream itself. I mentioned this on the little stream we did on Tuesday. You know my ending screen that I've got? It's like, it's a bit mid, right? It's a bit mid. It's all stock footage. You know the one. You've seen it before. This one with a whole bunch of people saying goodbye and stuff. It's like, it's sorry if that triggered anyone. It's not the end yet. But I want to replace that, right? I would like to crowdsource an ending file, okay? So the link that I've just dropped is Google Drive, which we have had one submission to already. Good on you, Caden. Caden Lee was first in there. So what I'm asking everyone to do is to just film themselves head and shoulders like this, just in the center of the screen, just waving like that. Make it as awkward as you like. And I'm going to make a compilation, including myself, a compilation of all those videos. Caden, can we watch yours? Is that cool if we watch yours just now? I want to see what you've done. I'm sure it'll be on point, but I'm trying to get as many people from the audience to feature in the video. Yeah, Wesley, if you want to send an email, you can do that to just help@speedcube.co.nz. It's on my website as well. help@speedcube.co.nz. You can send a video, send a link or a video through to that as well. But yeah, so what I'd like to do is make a compilation of me and all of you just kind of awkward waving at the camera, and I'll splice them all together. By submitting a video, I'm considering that consent to use your video in the thing, you know. I'm gonna look at Cadence just now because I've not seen it yet. I'm not sure if he's still online, but I think he's nailed it. He's nailed the brief. All right, Caden has nailed the brief. I'm going to show you this one, everyone. So yeah, don't worry about trimming it or anything. I can do that. I won't use any audio. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Like, you could not have done any better. Could not have done any better. What's he saying at the end of here?
Let's go. NPC, yes sir.
Big NPC moves. There you go. Caden has nailed the brief, so that's what I'm looking for. Wesley, what are you saying? This one? What are you saying? I don't understand. The link that is pinned in the chat is the folder that you can dump videos into. So any of you who want to can go ahead and submit a video for that, and I'll put that together at some point. Oh, I want to talk about, yeah, we're going to be at Armageddon Christchurch. So, oh, excuse me, Vera, I know you're a big fan of Armageddon. Hey, weren't you at, was it you? Was it you that was at Armageddon? In Auckland? I'm sure it was. I saw it on your stories the end of last year. But anyway, we're going to be at Armageddon Christchurch again this year as part of the Cheap Thrills retro market, April the 5th and 6th. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Shout out to Dead Video, my homies here in Littleton. Those of you who know will know that I used to share a shop. I used to share a retail space with Dead Video. The Cube Store is not there anymore, but Dead Video is very much there and there to stay. So Cheap Thrills Christchurch, I will be there. I've got some free tickets as well for anyone who's going to come and help me out. So, Vera, I don't know what how you're positioned. If you want a ticket to Christchurch, if you want to come and help out on the stall, that's something we can sort out. I'm going to talk to my team about that as well. We're going to try and get some sort of expo thing going on. I want people solving real fast so people can see people solving real fast. Because, there's one thing me standing with a bunch of cubes and going, oh, cubes are good. But then, and then people see me and they go, oh, very good, golf clap. That's very nice, sir. That's very nice. They give me sarcastic clap. But to see actual speedsters solving well is really important, and so I want to bring some people along and just up the production levels a little bit at Cheap Thrills. And it's kind of timely with Michael Chai and PSL talking about the sort of what's the word he was using? Oh, my mind's gone blank. But using that sort of thing to set up a conference, not a conference. God, what's the word I'm looking for, everyone? I'm dying here. He wants to make them like an exhibition or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's timely because, hey, I've done that. Sort of. I've been involved in Cheap Thrills at Armageddon. Vera, yeah, they're exhibitor passes, I'm pretty sure. I will have to double check that. You can send me a message. What else? That's it. I think actually that's the end of my story. Cheap Thrills at Armageddon Christchurch, April 5th and 6th. That's a bit of a local announcement for my local folks here in New Zealand. But that'll be fun. Also, Cube Sauce is going international, everyone. Cube Sauce is going to be available very, very soon at Crafty Cubes in Australia. Shout out to Aston over there at Crafty Cubes. I sent them a bunch of samples. They tested out Cube Sauce. They said, ooh, this sauce is delicious. Don't eat it. They said it makes my cubes real good and go brr real fast. They spin real good. I love it. So I've now shipped out some Cube Sauce to them, and they're going to be vending that soon. It's going to arrive there like next week, as soon as... I need to email them with all the copy and the pictures and stuff. Email Crafty. Woo, that's in the diary. Aston, it's going to happen. I need to email them with all the pictures and stuff, and then they'll get the listings up, and then you'll be able to buy Cube Sauce at Crafty Cubes in Australia. So that's cool, eh? Popey Jopey, when's it going to be intercontinental? Listen, things are in the works. Convention, thank you, Speedcubing TV. Oh my God, that was killing me. Convention was the word that I was looking for. Okay. Popey Jopey, when's it going to be intercontinental? I am actively working on that with another cube store right now. So work in progress is all I'll say for that one. Is that all the sort of news stuff from me? Yeah, the ending video I had to yap about. Cube Sauce at Crafty Cubes, we talked about that. Armageddon, we talked about that. We've very much done me one versus me two. Speedcubing TV, is that you, Mayor Nick? Did you see the match? Far out. It was intense. It's the future of speedcubing. Speaking of the future of speedcubing, it's time to talk about the PSL, the Premier Speedcubing League, the Premier Speedcubing League, if you will. So I might do a little yap about it, and then maybe we'll go and watch Stu Cube's video. StuCube PSL, Actually, I'll tell you what we're gonna do first of all is I'm gonna give you some things to check out. Okay, I'm gonna give you some homework to do. Oh no, that's his live stream. I didn't want to watch that one. I wanted videos. Here we go. Okay, Ladies and gentlemen, StuCube, relax, eh? Relax, would you? I want to tell you. I want to tell you where you can find information. Okay. So let's go here. Breaking analysis coming in from Speedcubing TV in the chat. They did see the match. And they've got Sarcastic Mike on a loser bracket run. Okay, well, we'll see how that progresses. You can... League. I'm not doing a good job of typing here. Leagueway. I shouldn't turn this... I shouldn't let you see me typing because it's too embarrassing. So the Premier Speedcubing League, they dropped a little trailer about it. So did Speedcubing TV. There is a podcast you should go and watch on Cubers Live. Did you know Michael Chai was one of the founders of Cubers Live? Well, now you do. Shut up, okay? You should go and watch that inside the Premier Speedcubing League. You'll get some insight there. There is the Premier Speedcubing League channel, which you should all go and subscribe to as well. Speedcubing TV has a plot-worthy episode, not a +3 episode, a plot-worthy episode about the PSL interview with Michael Chai, where you'll get to hear a bit about the about what's going on and all that stuff. There's also we're gonna talk about this video from Clicky Studios in a minute as well. So there's like already like a few hours of content that you can go and find about the PSL, as well as their website as well. Oh, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at the regulations drop today, so we're gonna read the regulations. PSL regulations. I'm gonna be video farming the heck out of this, by the way, because I'm really excited by it. I think this is something very, very cool that's happening. Someone's saying that there's a naming issue. Premier Skateboarding League dropped within the same week as well. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Lots of things are called the PSL. Try Googling PSL and see how many different things you can find. But that is a wild, that is kind of a wild coincidence that it's happening at the same time. Okay, so those are the resources that you can go and find. There's lots of information out there. I had a call with Michael Chai the other day, just like, because I've never met him, I've never talked to him. So we had a call just to kind of say, g'day, how you going? What can we talk about? What can't we talk about? Because I was just a little bit like, well, I really want to talk to him about board stuff as well, but we'll have two separate conversations. We'll talk about him and the board, and we'll talk about, the PSL, but the PSL is the one we really want to talk about now. The reason I want to talk about the board is because he resigned early from his position on the board, and then Premier Speedcubing League started. So there's an obvious timeline that I want to drill into a little bit there and just get a little bit of the goss. But mainly I want to talk about PSL and what his kind of ideas are around it. What's been really interesting is to find out that Michael and we have quite a similar approach to working things out and testing. We have a very similar testing approach. Some of you will know it as F around and find out. You know, the more you F around, hold on, reverse this. The more you F around on this axis, find out on this axis, and then success is the diagonal that comes off of those two, right? Whoop, F around and find out. Success. So he is all about that. That's kind of the approach he's bringing to the Premier Speedcubing League. He's already in a mindset of just like, I am ready to accept that it's probably not perfect straight off the bat, and I'm willing to take feedback and develop the idea as it goes, which is exactly the same thing that I took into the podcast when I started. Like, go back and watch episode 1 of Cubecast. It's rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. And I knew it was going to be rubbish. There was nothing. There was no intro. There was no bits. There was no nothing. There was a plan. That's all I had, was a plan on what I was going to talk about. And I was like, I'm just going to chuck it out there and see what happens. See how people respond to it. Curious Nick, a trial and error approach. That's one way of looking at it. Yeah, it's going to be like, I mean, he's taking, as business people and as organizers of events, we take educated guesses, right? We look at what we think is going to work. We analyze it and we think, is this what we need to do? This looks reasonable. This looks acceptable. Let's give it a try. And that's what I'm really going to drill down to when I talk to him. I'm going to make a quick video this week, I think, because what I would like to do with my video talking to Michael, and he sort of co-signed this when we spoke. He was like, I'm ready for criticism. I'm ready to answer the hard questions. I'm ready to hear people's grumbles. And I was like, sweet, because there's plenty of them. So I want to get your questions and put them to him. I really want to use my time interviewing him to answer some of the questions that haven't been answered, because with peace and love and respect, he's had a soft, he's not been drilled particularly hard in the interviews he's had so far. And I think I probably, to make my interview different, rather than him just telling the same story he's already told, I'm probably going to take some questions from you and from my further audience when I put out a video about it. So more to come about that probably in the future. But let's just take a quick look at Stu Cube's video, hey? Let's do that. I think that's probably the best way to do it. It's a relatively short video, and I'm sure StuCube won't mind. Is StuCube in the chat? He sometimes is. Mango's back. I'm back. Give me the recap. Regular Mike won. It was a tough match. Almost had a fairy tale comeback from... almost had a plot-worthy comeback, Matthew. Would you agree? Almost had a plot-worthy comeback from Sarcastic Mike, which was pretty exciting to see. Prosta, the approach to PSL is like the new content creator rule of done is better than perfect. Amen, brother. To an extent, Prosta. What is everyone talking about? WR2. Justice? Are you just talking about Doggo Cuber? Okay, Doggo got some good times. That's good. We are going to carry on and not get distracted by the chat, everyone. I'm out of practice here. I keep getting distracted.
Gentlemen, this might just be the most important video I have ever made on the channel. It's
Can
not
you
that
guys
I
hear
didn't
that
think
all right?
this day would eventually come, but seeing it actually be a reality this soon is unbelievable. It is what absolutely everyone has been clamoring for years now. We've gotten little glimpses of what it might look like, moments that made us believe it was possible. We have just been given news that after 43 years, we finally reached the turning point that is going to change speedcubing forever, and quickly. Because March 16th,
It's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. So essentially, this is something that we have been talking about, especially me and my audience have been talking about this. You know, I've chatted to Manu about it. I've chatted to Dylan Miller about it. And I think Miller knew, I think Dilly Millie knew about this from something I heard on Manu's podcast episode. I think Dylan Miller knew about this when I've been talking to him about this, which is kind of wild, you know? So that's been really interesting. But this is literally what we've been talking about, like something that can create epic stories and can create really good head-to-head matches and really can treat speedcubing like a sport.
Marks the moment when the biggest what-if in cubing history becomes a why not.
Dylan in the chat, you absolute snake.
This jump that needed to be made as the tension in the competitive scene has ramped up. Not tension between competitors, but tension within the very system of how competitions are being run. People have been noticing that we have been setting ourselves up to fail. When you zoom out, it's clear there's been something off. A lot of us have felt it, but no one has actually stepped up to fix it.
That's a big thing as well. Lots of us have yapped about it, and I'm ready to admit that. We've all yapped and gone, I'm really particularly guilty about yapping, because I've come at everything. I've come at average of 5. I've come at, competition live streams are unwatchable, regardless of how nice they are. I just think it's a boring thing to watch as a spectator. It's not a good spectator sport. It is a good spectator sport, but the WCA competition is not a good spectator environment, in my humble opinion. Maybe it's because I'm New Zealand brained and all our competitions are really small. I've never been to a major, but still, I don't think they're good spectator events for non-cubers, and that's who I'm interested in. As I've mentioned many times before, I'm really interested in my mate being like, "There's cubing on tonight. Do you want to watch it?" Which is what Michael Chai's talked about. He's talked about Saturday Night Cubing. And I'm like, yes. This man gets it. That's what I want. And just as Stu said there, we've all yapped about it. Michael is the one who is actually stepping up and attempting to deliver it. And we're going to talk more about this later when we have a look at some of the wah on Cuber's Waz.
Really good at getting people into the sport, hitting record highs and new competitors every
WC
year.
is great at that.
But this new era goes beyond that and into a different realm entirely. We've had moments, an idea of what it might look like, and 2024 gave us some of the greatest of these moments we've ever seen. And yet still, it is an absolute miracle this has somehow been made as entertaining as it has. This meaninglessly complex format has been taken to its limit. I mean, head-to-head finals was never actually even a head-to-head scenario in the first place. It was clear that we needed change. The highest level of competitors have always been
there's Dilly Millie.
And for good reason.
I know him.
They all wanted the same thing. But there was never anyone there
Luke
to
and
give it to
Timon.
them.
I know them.
To give it to
There's
all
Max.
of us
I know him.
and completely overhaul speedcubing from the inside out. Until today, coming off the back of the greatest 6-month stretch in competitive cubing history. We could only keep making the same mistake over and over again since the first ever world championship in 1982 until the future finally decided to arrive. Because we have never even come remotely close to what we're about to witness starting March 16th, 2025
Someone learned After Effects.
in Berkeley, California.
Woo!
The first of 6 locations
Nice,
for Season 1 of the Premier Speedcubing League. Ladies
Yes,
and gentlemen, this is...
There's been some confusion already. This is an in-real-life league. This is an American in-real-life league. Let's be clear about that. It's not an online league. It's not Monkey League. This is IRL. And it's going to be a bunch of places all over
the UFC,
all over the
cubing.
US.
When I tell you this transcends anything we have ever seen in the competitive space thus far, that is an understatement. There have been little bits of innovation here and there, but this is a complete redefinition of what Speedcubing is going to look like moving forward. Imagine a bracket-style tournament. Think Rocket League, March Madness, the Power Slap World Championship. With
Power slapping is the. Can we just acknowledge that power slapping is the dumbest? Is the dumbest thing that's one of the dumbest things that's ever happened to the human race. Patrick Pond saying, we've come close. It was Red Bull and it was peak. I agree with you, Patrick. You're preaching to the choir there. Red Bull, well, Red Bull had problems, but it was so good. Red Bull, yeah, COVID 100% was one of the reasons Red Bull didn't make it. I also blame the community to an extent for the reason Red Bull didn't make it, because it wasn't well received. But I also blame Rubik's and Red Bull to an extent because the format was a bit shonky. Like, peace and love, Chris Mills, Rescramble champion. But what the hell is Rescramble? What the hell is that? Dylan Miller, Red Bull was ahead of its time. I agree. I agree. And RIP.
It is specifically designed to be intense because there's not only money on the line. This quite literally is the narrative. A 4-hour production that unlocks what was never possible in the past. Not only
Dylan,
is
I'm
going to
talk about the
you'll see
reception
here in a
after
second
this.
Completely revamped, but the pure visual nature of what actually goes down at one of these opens is set out to be absolutely electric. One of the biggest reasons cubing isn't as entertaining as it could be is something no one really talks about. Competitors have always been discouraged from actually looking at who they're going up against or watching their opponent's solves, and have even been punished for it in the past. But with how a PSL match is designed, it is inevitable that the head-to-head
I love I love how Michael has taken kind of taken a look and gone, thank you for subscribing, Patrick. How Michael has taken a look at it from a completely fresh lens. Not as fresh as Red Bull. You know, Rescramble and the head-to-head, they had weird things. They really went outside the norms in terms of inspection and things like that, which I think maybe was a little bit too much. I'll give them that. I love how he is coming from a sports angle and is really taking a sports angle and a sports vision to cubing. I think in the same way, actually, that Speedcubing TV are doing as well. I think Michael Chai refers to Speedcubing TV as like the ESPN, like as our ESPN. And I feel like that's a pretty valid point. You know, they're in there looking for the stories, and they're in there with professionals in terms of production and in commentary as well. There was an incredible episode of +3 with, is it Rosenkratz? Michael Rosenkratz? I've just got his name wrong, almost 100%. But it's a great episode. He is such a pro, man. Like, he is amazing. I was listening to him as someone who has worked in broadcasting. I'm a ex-radio presenter. Listening to him just being like, hot dang, this kid knows what he is doing. Just listening to him talking about prep. I say kid because you're much, much younger than me, but you're an adult. You're in your, I think, your early 20s or something. But like, I was listening to him as like a further generation, way generation removed from me, but just being like, game recognized game in terms of what he's doing in his prep and how he conducts himself in the interview. Amazing. But I'm getting beside the point. I like the fresh looks that people are taking is what I'm trying to say, you know?
More personal now, because it's set up in a kind of darts format where one player steps up and does their solve.
Darts
the
is
other
good.
waits
Does anyone
and
else play
watches
darts?
behind them, creating this direct contact and pressure of knowing
Fun fact, my mum and dad were on a mixed doubles dart team. Cute.
exactly what you have to beat every single
Way
time
back
you
in the
walk
day
up
before
to
I
the
was born.
solving station. The streaming of cubing events has always been held back by one thing. We've always had the
It
gear and
sucks.
expertise to make it happen.
WC
The league
events
itself
suck.
never existed. Imagine a
terrible
massive
to watch.
screen in front of the solving station on this side, playing the stream live whilst in the venue, kind of like, you know, a jumbotron at any kind of other sporting event. There will be
Yeah.
commentators, a crowd. It's the first time cubing has ever looked like this. Sure, Gan's $10,000 tournament they did last year was cool, but it didn't have the raw intensity or personal stakes of your average PSL match because of how it was set up. This is a true 1v1 setting where
I'm not going to bag on SSL. I thought SSL was very cool. Obviously, it's smart cubes, so that's a big difference. But I thought it was very, very cool. in terms of how it was put together and how it was executed.
Perform under pressure will be.
But it was in China, so it didn't really help all the NA cubers. This is specifically, excuse me, and geographically in America. So it's like, yeah, we can have all of our American, or we can have all of our Western personalities in there. You know what I mean? Whereas the obviously the Chinese one had all the Chinese personalities in there, and it was tailored to a different audience in that respect. We didn't have as much as English speakers who don't speak Chinese, right? You see what I mean? We didn't have as much of an emotional connection. We had the statistical connection. We could see what they were doing. We could observe what they were doing. But I feel like there's more emotional connection for me personally as a Western person who doesn't speak Chinese. I can relate a little bit more personally to these guys competing in America whose names I can actually pronounce for a start. I'm such a terrible person. But you know what I mean? Like I have more of a connection, and I know more about their background, and I can understand more about their story just inherently than I can from people from another culture who speak another language. So I think that's why it's just, I guess what I'm saying is that's potentially another reason why a lot of people just didn't really engage that much with SSL as much as maybe China did. Although a lot of that's speculative.
Factor. But as for the best part, the tournament itself, which will see a bracket of 8 of the fastest speedcubers in the world, 4 directly selected by the league itself,
important.
While the other 4 determined by a much larger 64-man bracket held the same day. This is
okay, so this is an important point that I think a lot of people have missed in their criticism, going, I don't know what's happening, it's not been explained. It's right here. 4 are picked by PSL. The other 4 are whittled down from a 64-person bracket. Relatively
one
easy
of the
to
most
understand.
interesting dynamics,
I think,
you'll
unless
have a
I'm
mix of both
misunderstanding it.
those who are chosen to take one of the top 4 seeds and another more unpredictable group to go against them in round 1. On March 16th at the Bay Area Open, we'll go through the utter chaos of the large bracket stage to determine who these 4 will be, and once the final 8 are locked in, the first ever head-to-head on this big of a stage will begin. First to win 3 solves gets a point, and the first to 3 points takes the match and moves on to round 2. If you lose twice,
oh yeah, here we go.
Eliminated, which means we'll probably see some pretty wild comebacks from the loser side of the bracket, like we have in the very few times we've seen a bracket style.
My understanding is that the 64 is a double elim bracket as well, right? Is the 64 man, the 64 person part, is that double elim as well?
Cubing event. The
Maybe
final step towards making all of this a reality.
I'm sure I heard Michael Chai say that,
handling
though.
Pressure is such a large part of the PSL. Every single solve has consequences, and that's
Hey,
exactly how the new era of speedcubing will define its champions. The tournament continues until the final match, where the winner of the Bay Area Open will be crowned with the first ever PSL Open title. We will see
Dylan saying, if I recall correctly, top 64 is single elim first to 3 wins. Okay, cool. Dave Neville, what have I said that's not true?
a total of 6 of these
What did I
opens
do?
from San Diego on March 22nd to all across the US. All of it, of course, being streamed on Speedcubing TV, the ESPN
Man, America's
of
huge, eh?
competitive cubing.
I often
PSL
forget that.
is the blue.
I was sailing last night with some people from Oregon, and they were like, "Yeah, the state's like, what did they say? Like 500k up and down, 700k across." And I was like, "Oh dang, America's huge!" And they were talking about, talking a little bit about the sort of difference between states, and I was like, "Yeah, oh gosh, I get it now." If you think about, the differences between states and state identity, which is something I, as someone who's never lived in America, very hard to understand. Oh, Dave. Okay, so I got the 1632, 168. It's the 8 person is double elimination. The 64 isn't. Gotcha. And then Dylan backing that up as well. Oregon based. Yeah, Oregon, it sounds like New Zealand from what they were telling me about. They've got glaciers and you can go sailing and surfing and you can go skiing and all that kind of stuff too. They got coffee, Pinot Noir, craft beer, all that stuff, if that's what you're into. Sounds pretty cool. Sounds a lot like New Zealand, just not quite as far away from everything. I said to the lady Barb, like, why don't you move to New Zealand? It's far away from everything. No. She said, I can't move to New Zealand though. It's just so far away from everything. And I said, that's why I'm here, because it's so far away from everything. And that's the way I like it. Thank you very much.
Print for where speedcubing is going. It finally gives people an actual incentive to reach an elite level. And perhaps my favorite thing about all of this is something so simple that we've somehow missed all along. The direction we're finally going in is one where you don't even have to be able to solve a cube to enjoy competitive cubing. In 2025, it is going to be pure entertainment. This isn't just the biggest step forward competitive cubing has ever taken. It's a collective vision that everyone has had, but has never really been taken to this level before.
I think this is one of the biggest points that I think is so exciting about it, and why I'm so like, okay, this is actually different. This is actually the thing. Is that they're creating entertainment, and I think they've got that in mind. That mindset, I think, is what's been missing. We have, if Mayor Nick's still in the chat, he might have some thoughts about this, but I feel like the live streaming production companies who are like trying to make the best of a WCA competition. Well, there's a phrase where I'm from. I don't know if this is a worldwide term, but I feel like trying to make the best broadcast out of a WCA competition is literally polishing a turd. Right? Does that make sense? You're trying to make the best out of what you've got. And again, no hate to WCA. That's not what I'm doing here. But what I'm saying here is a WCA competition is set out with competitors in mind. Entertainment for non-cubers is not a priority. Okay? But I feel like the approach being taken here is that they're going entertainment first, not competitor second necessarily, because it's like the competitors are the entertainment. But you see what I mean? They're leading by thinking what is entertaining, and they're leading about that important market, which is non-cubers. You cannot understand how much bigger the non-cubing market is than cubers, which is just nothing. Okay, so that's exciting for me as a punter watching this happen.
The Emperor Palpatine figure behind the PSL will take very little credit for this level before. Michael Chai, the Emperor Palpatine figure behind the PSL, will take very little credit for what he's giving us here. He's always wanted to make it more about, the storylines and the competitors, and turning this whole world into what it deserves to be. So just know that without him, none of this would have probably ever happened. For years, we have dreamed of cubing reaching this level.
And you can go, and like I say, you can go and listen to Michael Chai talking more in depth about this. If you still have questions, just go and listen to him talk first before you get on the internet giving it, you know what I mean? Give the man a chance. So you've got the not +3. On Speedcubing TV, you've got the Plotworthy podcast, Michael Mayernick's podcast, with Dylan and Michael. Then you've got Manu talking to Dylan and Michael as well. I will have an interview with him next week. It'll be a pre-record probably, and like I say, I'll put something out asking for everyone's questions.
Come out of nowhere in a format like this is something that I didn't ever imagine would happen this soon. When I said 2025 would be the greatest year in cubing history, this is what I meant. The PSL is a new chapter for cubing, and March 16th will be the very beginning of the future. The moments and clips and narratives we will get out of this is something I have wanted to see for a very long time. Now that it's finally here, you're not going to want to miss out on all the beautiful things coming. So make sure to subscribe to me, subscribe to Speedcubing TV, and you can't subscribe to a 6-year-old, but you can lose to them in 3x3.
My average is under my age.
After the 50th video that I've told you this, it
well
get
under
old,
my age.
It still hasn't. It's just as fun every single.
All right. If you haven't subscribed to StuCube, what are you doing with your life? Frankly, if you haven't subscribed to Speedcubing TV, what are you doing with your life? Frankly. Also subscribe to Premier Speedcubing League and Dylan Miller, obviously. Okay, so yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm excited to talk to Michael about it. I'm excited for all that's going to come out of it. I'm excited to see what happens when I put some of these broadcast outcomes in front of my son, for example, or my mate. You know, my mates that are my age and who don't cube, but they know that I cube and they know that I love it. So it's an easier sell from that respect. It's like, hey, there's a cube thing on. Do you want to watch it? And they'll be like, nah, sure. That's when I want to see how they react to it and how they go. Mango Cuber, it is too bad if anyone breaks a world record because it won't be official. Even though they'll probably be doing everything as well. I will be talking to Michael Chai about that as well. I will be talking to Michael Chai about Okay, that's about all I have to say about the PSL in that regard. What I wanted to talk about. Oh, shoot. I'm going to go and have to rake around Facebook for a minute. Talk among yourselves. Hold on a minute. Let's have some music, shall we? There we are. So I'm just going to go and have a rake around for this post that I want to talk about, okay? Yeah, so there we are. That's the PSL. Looks pretty cool, eh? I think, anyway. Not everyone thinks it is, though. Okay, Timmies? Not everyone thinks that it's super cool. Although there was a little poll posted after the... Essentially, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and look at a post on our favorite toxic Facebook page. Here we go. Cubex's friends, okay? Interesting chats going on. Dylan saying the whole idea of what's official is silly to me at this point. Patrick Ponce is on the team as well. I agree. Why does that matter? It just matters who wins on the day. It's a tough one, isn't it? Because we are so WCA brained. We are all, what's the word? Institutionalized. We are institutionalized to WCA thinking. And what I mean by that is average of 5 is better than single. Nobody questions it. We all just accept it. Official or it doesn't matter. Nobody questions it. We just accept it as fact. Competitions have to be WCA sanctioned. We all accept that. Nobody questions it. I feel like we're starting to question that stuff now. We're starting to give ourselves permission. Brainwashed is a little bit much, Vera, but we are institutionalized to believe these things, I think. That's not intentional by the WCA. Again, not an accusation. But we are, as a community, we've come around to that, okay? The title of the episode was... What was it? Why can't we have nice things? Why can't we have nice things, everyone? What did I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is this, probably this post on Facebook here, okay? This is in Cubec's Friends, which is, it's a Facebook group. Why the biggest sort of community, or one of the biggest communities for yapping about speedcubings on Facebook? I don't know. That feels boomerish, isn't it? Why is it on Facebook? It's bizarre. But anyway, Justin Ryan, don't know who that is. Doesn't really matter for this, for the context of this. You matter, Justin. Just you're valid and you matter, Justin, just for the record. But in the context of what I'm going to talk about, it doesn't matter who posted this. But they posted something that said, no posts or thoughts on the PSL announcement? Question mark? But then there were. There were thoughts, weren't there, Timmy? And I'm just going to go through some of them, and I think I'll maybe just talk a little smack about them. I don't want to be mean, but just a few points I'm just going to pick up. This one interested me by Noah here. I love seeing new ideas and people doing cool things. Cool. Noah's on board. What a great guy. I love to hear that. I won't watch myself because only 3x3 doesn't interest me. What? Okay, sure. Especially when it's unofficial. Does that matter, Noah? It'll be exciting. Isn't that important? And that's what I mean when I talk about they're leading with entertainment and not necessarily this old school thinking in mind. Especially when it's unofficial. What if it doesn't matter? What if it doesn't matter if it's official or not because it's going to be fun to watch? What about fun? When did we forget about fun as a community, you know? John Wheeler swinging, especially when it's unofficial. You're the issue, bro. And Aaron made a comment here that doesn't, it kind of contradicts itself. But Michael Land, here we go. I personally don't like the idea of charging minors more than adults, especially in an activity that's catering to younger audience. Okay, that needs a bit of clarification. So it's like $75 for it is expensive. I suppose it's more expensive than a regular WCA competition. That is a fact. Saying that it's expensive, that's subjective. It is more expensive than than a regular WCA competition, and people are going wow about that because people go wow about prices of things every time, you know. Patrick, because 3x3 is the only event that matters. I think so. It's the only event people want to see. Nobody wants to see your triangle. Sorry, everyone. Sorry, any triangle mains in the chat, but nobody wants to see you solving the triangle. So this guy's saying, I personally don't like the idea of charging minors more than adults. Okay, so that's a misunderstanding, possibly a miscommunication. Either way, this is a misrepresentation of the truth. I think it's $75 for a regular entry, and then it's $90 for a minor. But what that means is a minor and their +1. Curious Nick, the registration fees are a bit confusing. That's valid, I think. That's valid feedback. I'll take that to Michael. It's not $25 for spectating. It's not $75 for spectating. It's $75 to compete. Did I say spectating? I think I meant competing. But the $90 for a minor, that's the minor who's competing and the and their +1, their adult. Right? Their adult who has to be there with them. They've got to be accompanied. No unaccompanied minors in the competitions, I suppose, is what they're saying there. Let me just jump on their website. Premier Speedcubing League. There it is. Event details. Let's look at PSL Berkeley. Let's go to here. Does it have the pricing? I want to get this right. Patrick, I hear what you're saying. Registration fees at all is kind of bad. I don't know if this will be the overall goal. I mean, ultimately, you would have your prizes coming from sponsors and things like that. And I think that's going to be the goal. For this is to have sponsors paying for it, but you have to have a product before you can get sponsors. I wanted to thank you've just reminded me of a story. Actually, there was a podcast. It was okay, it was fine, but they reached out to me to ask if I would be a sponsor, and I was like, well, you haven't done anything yet. I don't know who you are. You don't have a product. I'm not going to give you money on the off chance that you might be good. I was like, what are you talking about? No, make the podcast and then I'll consider sponsoring it. And they eventually got, they did get sponsored by Daily Puzzles, because Daily Puzzles would sponsor a duck if it walked past them, is my understanding. They sponsored everyone. But anyway, they sponsored the podcast, and the podcast was around for like maybe 8 episodes and then just disappeared. I was like, okay, cool. No, sorry. No money for you until you have a product that I can sponsor. So, that's what the reason I want to bring that up is because that's what's happening here. You can't sell. It's hard to sell an idea. It's much easier to sell a product. So when Michael's going out looking for sponsorship, it's going to be much easier to get sponsors on board when he has a product to show them, and they are going to be producing product. They have no product yet because no matches have happened. No content has been created. Nothing exists. You can't sponsor something that doesn't exist, really. Unless it's like the second event of something or whatever. You know what I mean? So the approach Michael's taking is that he has to fund it himself at the moment until sponsors come on board with cash. And we're talking about sponsors outside Speedcubing here. So he has to have it up and running in some way before he can attract sponsors. And I think that's reasonable. I don't have a problem with that. So here's the pricing. Spectator pass is $35. I mean, subjectively, it is a bit expensive. These are US dollars, obviously. So the VIP spectator pass, my understanding is that a VIP pass, you get, let's go, where do Oh, the big blue continue button. Configuring your pass, you then get like a t-shirt. You get some swag with your VIP pass, and I think you get like access to like athlete access or something. So there are things that you get. I don't know if you get like priority seating or whatever like that for the VIP stuff. You get extra swag for your VIP pass. Okay. Hold up. I lost the page. If you're going to register, here we go. Pass selection. Oh, it's saved my stuff. Whoops. So this is spectator pass, a VIP spectator pass, which is a spectator pass with swag, the standard competing pass, which is $75, and the VIP competing pass. So this is the one that's confusing everyone. This, oh no, sorry, I beg your pardon. The minor competing pass. This is the one that is confusing everyone. So the minor competing pass is a competitor pass. $75 for a minor, plus access for their, what's the word? Guardian or responsible adult, okay? Is my understanding. And then there's VIP versions of everything. VIP competing pass for a minor, and their +1. And there's a VIP spectator pass as well. So is it expensive? Subjectively, that depends on the individual. Is it more expensive than a WCA competition? Yes. And why do we compare it to a WCA competition? Because we are institutionalized to compare anything in speedcubing to what the WCA does in speedcubing. And I'm not saying whether that's a bad or good thing. I'm just saying it's a thing. Hello, Joel. Welcome along. Hello, James. Welcome along. So that's where we got to with the idea of charging minors more than adults is literal misinformation. That's not a thing. Cade, come on now. Me when Pro League cubing events only 3x3, so they're boring AF. I literally could not disagree more. It's all I want to see. The information isn't fully clear. That is a choice by Michael. He's letting the information come out bit by bit. And I think that's a valid marketing strategy. And I think it's working because people are raging out and talking about it, and we're creating all this content around it. Jules, this is particularly wild. People behind this clearly don't know anything about how sports work if they think income comes from registration. I mean, like I've said, there are no sponsors yet because the product doesn't exist. And this is plain wrong as well. I would like to say, as a final thought, any attempt at making a ton of money in cubing will always be piggybacking off volunteers. Michael's paying his staff. Okay? That is a big difference that I think is cool and I think people should know about. He's paying his staff, is my understanding. I don't know what's going on here. The fact that a former WCA board member is behind this really infuriates me. He's obviously not a fan of Michael Chai. I don't know what the story is there. Maybe I'll ask Michael about that. What's up with Jules? But Jules is raging out. Whatever, Jules. Relax, okay? Like, chill. You know what? It's not for you, bro. It's not for you. Don't watch it. Just don't watch it. Off you go. Yeah, my understanding is that all staff are being paid. Wei-An, I don't know who this is either, but the real draw of a cubing event is to see top competitors going against each other. Correct. But most regular speedcubers can't beat them, so why would they pay $75 to compete for 1,000? Which isn't 1,000, that's the prize pool, when they won't have a chance. I don't know, that remains to be seen. This is the kind of muck around and find out kind of approach. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, who's this? Who's this? James is in the chat. Hello, James. Skeptical of the financial side of it. That's fine. Based, fair take from James. It'll amount to 2 rounds of 3x3 because it's double elimination. Well, actually, no, it's not, is it? You know, you're right there. You are right there, James. It's 1 round of 3x3. The convention side of it is something that Michael is looking to grow as well. I don't know. I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see. I will get a clarification from Michael if all staff members will be paid, but my understanding is that he's paying the staff that are running the event. Again, Roxana, charging minors more than adults is not a good idea. It's also not happening. All right, this is not true. I feel like I've explained that. Harsha, it seems not worth it. Wah, wah, wah. I guess that remains to be seen. Daniel, the 2 videos I saw on it, Speedcubing TV and Speedcube, left me more confused than I started, and I had no idea what the format even was. So you didn't watch Speedcube's video. You didn't watch Speedcube's video, did you? Be honest. Be honest now. Because if you did watch Speedcube's video, you would have seen the format, brother. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Commentary on previous comps of similar scope has shown to be aggravatingly inept. All stars in that one Michigan comp. As the commentators are either non-cubers or know nothing about the intricacies of high-level solving. Harsha, I've got a... Daniel. I need you to understand that I don't care which ZB someone used. I'm not a non-cuber, but I'm not a high-level cuber. Also, high-level cubers, there's like... How many of them are going to be watching? They're going to be competing. This makes me mad. Like, you just don't understand what you're talking about. I'm sorry. You don't understand what you're talking about when you're having a go at the commentators at like All-Stars and things. And all the people who were hitting Manu up about like explaining average of 5 every now and then. Do you know why he had to explain average of 5? Because it's stupid and complicated and not fit for purpose. You're all WCA brained. You're all just, you cannot cope with change. You're like old people in an old people's home having the lunch menu changed. Oh, where's my fish pie? It's Wednesday. I need fish pie on a Wednesday. Far out. It drives me nuts. It actually drives me nuts. It actually drives me nuts. We cannot have anything nice. We cannot have anything nice. This is why I'm mad, and this is why the stream is called what it's called. Sorry, everyone. I got a bit excited there. I've had a lot of coffee this morning. Daniel, chill. Corey, I don't know what this is. I don't know all the details, and for that reason, I'm not optimistic. Bro, what is that? Helmer seems super exciting. Carter, I have concerns, and Carter made a whole video about the concerns, and it's just all so disappointing. It's just all so disappointing. It literally doesn't exist, and you're all so ready to tear it to shreds. I hear the word wholesome banded around about speedcubing. And I think it's a complete lie. We are not wholesome. We are institutionalized. We are toxic. And we are embarrassing. And I mean, it's... yeah, okay, Dylan's just made a valid point. This is Cuber's friends I'm looking at. So my sample size for rating the community right now is small. But just made me a bit mad, all right? It just made me a bit disappointed. Mango, people can't handle it. They're acting like it's replacing the WCA. Swagrid, the Speedcube NZ Joker arc. Oh, kinda. I'm just a bit off. I think I hate CF. I think that's really what I'm talking about. I think I just hate Cubex's friends. And most of the people on it. That's about it, really. Why can't we have nice things? I don't know, everyone. I don't know. I wish we could. I hope we will have nice things. I hope we can have this nice thing. I hope the PSL will be something nice. I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm gonna move on now and calm myself down by reading some regulations, everyone, because PSL, Premier Speedcubing League. Yeah, I do want to leave the site. I'm not registering because it's very far away. They just dropped new regulations. Just dropped, everyone. Jack Core, nobody is friends on Cubex's friends. That's valid. I'm certainly not making friends there. Can I hide this? How do I hide this? There we go. There we are. The regulations for PSL just dropped, everyone. Can I... Let's see if I just do this. That's not helping at all, is it? Oh, I'll do that. There we are. You can all see that, can't you, Timmy? The regulations for Cubers friends, the regulations for Cubex's friends, could you imagine? The regulations for the PSL just dropped, and I thought I'd go through them, okay? And we can all find out what's going on. How close to WCA is it? Do we rate it? Do we not rate it? Whatever, I don't care. Listen up, Timmy. Here are the regulations, okay? And we'll find out. I haven't read them yet, just to be clear. This document serves as the rules and regulations of Premier Speedcubing League PSL. Incidents that are at the fault of the organisation team will fall under the scope of the Code of Conduct and will be rectified by the PSL in a fair manner and in consideration of good sportsmanship with the competitors. Okay, that's nice. That sounds good. That sounds fair and reasonable. 1. Match procedure. Are you ready, Timmies? Let's go. Match procedure. Competitors are called by the organization team to an assigned competing table for their next match. Sure. Competitors turn in their puzzle to judges who also verify that the puzzle is of sufficient quality standards. Sure. The judge will ask the highest seeded competitor whether or not they would like to solve first or second. Okay. So if you're seeded higher, you get to decide whether you're going first or not. So you can choose to have a little sneaky peek. That's not happening in the MSL, by the way, in the Mike Me 1 versus Me 2 Speedcubing League. It's just the first person in the rank, because they're all ranked the same. There is no ranking in the MSL. Okay, the judge will begin scrambling and distributing cubes in a cube cover to the next person up to solve. Okay, so getting into staff, it looks like judge, scrambler, runner is the same person. Can we glean that from this? I think that's fair to assume. The judge will inform the competitor, please let me know when you're ready. The competitor, when ready, must verbally say, I'm ready to the judge and nod their head in a vertical motion that they are indeed and ready to proceed. I like that. That's nice and clear. The judge is being told it's your job to ask, are you ready? The competitor is then going to respond, yes, I am ready, actually. So they've got to say, I'm ready and nod. This is very clear. The judge will lift the cube cover, which triggers a 15-second inspection timer. The competitor may look, but not manipulate the state of the puzzle. Sure. This all sounds familiar, doesn't it, to me? The competitor sets down the puzzle and initiates the timer. Initiating the timer indicates the end of the inspection period. The competitor solves the puzzle and stops the timer. The judge records the time, repeats steps 4 to 10 for the other competitor. This repeats until the target win number of a set has been reached. If there are multiple sets to a match, repeat steps 1 to 4 and 1 to 12 until the target set win number has been reached by a competitor. For step 1 to 4, a competitor who started first in the previous set will now start in this upcoming set. Okay, great. Starting switches. James, something I would love to see for head-to-head matches is actual synchronized solving. Yeah, that would be cool, hey? The format. Times are recorded up to the 100th decimal point. The 1000th decimal point is truncated, not rounded. Okay. Patrick, that's what made Red Bull so fun. Agreed. I did like seeing people going literally head-to-head. Literally head-to-head was awesome. Dylan Chai has said in every interview the format should be ever-changing until they find the best approach, so that's probably something they're willing to experiment with. I would say as a spectator, I should say as well, I'm not involved in... I would like to be a partner with PSL in some way, and Michael and I are kind of working on that in the background at the moment. But it doesn't have... I'm not really invested in it other than I want to watch some cool cubing. I want to watch something good. So I think that would be cool. I would like to see that, actually. Good morning, Nicholas. What up, Kiki? Welcome along. The format. Times recorded up to 100th. I said that. Competitions follow a standard of X number of competitors competing in a format, reducing to the top 8 competitors. The number of competitors involved is predetermined by the capacity of the organization team. Okay, this is a bit unclear, isn't it? Because I thought there was 4 players were picked. I thought 4 players were picked, and that the other 4 came from. I suppose maybe that's further down. Let's relax. The number of competitors involved is predetermined by the capacity of the organization team, so it may not always be a 64-person bracket. I will say a 64-person bracket is bloody massive. That's massive. Like, it's sort of exponentially gets more difficult to organize the harder you make your bracket. Like, I've got a 16 in MSL, and that's already 30 matches. If you go 16, 32, 64, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's all I'll say. It's a lot. And they know that because they've got like 12 hours on the day to sort that out. Okay. The format of the competition is primarily a double elimination bracket, but is subject to other exploratory formats decided mutually by the PSL and organization team. There it is. In the regulations, they are open to things. Dave Neville saying 4 people are picked to go to the 64 and the rest register. I've misunderstood that. Okay, that's on me. That's on me. 64 is a whole comp. All right. Each match bracket is best out of 3. Best 3 out of 5. First to X sets. The number of sets needed is predetermined and will be announced by the organization team day of, as well as advertised by the PSL. Okay. The top 8 compete in a double elimination bracket. Best 3 out of 5. First to 2 or more sets, predetermined by the organizing team and the PSL. So it is loose. It's there, but it's loose, and it's up. It's up for being what's the word? They're up for evolving. They're up for taking feedback, and I think honestly, I'll say it again. I'll go to bat for Michael Chai, and you know, because I like this approach as well. And it's the approach I use with the podcast. I like the way he's going into this and being like, I'm willing to take feedback and change things. I'm willing to hear what people are telling me about it. You know, I think that's cool. I like that attitude. I support that. The number of sets, blah, 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 blah. We've done that. Okay. Seeding is determined by pre-competition solves that are completed and sent to the organization team upon request. Okay. Interesting. So they're not using your WCA results. Seeding is determined by pre-competition solves that are completed and sent to the organization team upon request. We had that with Monkey League, right? And Kiwi League when we did that as well, which is like a tiny, tiny version of Monkey League just here in New Zealand. Pretty sure we did that. Seeding is determined by pre-competition solves that are completed and sent to the organization team upon request. And actually, if I remember correctly, I think we had that for cubing at home during lockdown as well, didn't we? Is that something that happened? I can't remember. Seeding does not partake in post-competition rankings and data, so seeding is just for seeding. Methodology of seeding and verification is determined by the organization team. Okay, sure. Solving cubers competition. Solving competitors will be allocated 15 seconds of inspection that starts after the cube cover has been raised. Event judges raise the cover after the competitor verbally indicates they are ready in combination with a distinguishable head nod. Ready, ready, ready. Start practicing that, everyone. Ready. During inspection, the competitor may not turn the layers of the puzzle. Inspection is considered over after the competitor starts their event choice competition timer. Their event choice competition timer? I'm not sure what that means. Competitors' hand placement of the timer must follow these protocols. Organization teams may opt for... Organization teams may opt for 4-pad mode hardware. 4-pad mode must be followed throughout the duration of the event. We have anti-speedcubing measures. We have anti-speedcubing measures. We have anti-sliding measures. Optional for organizing teams. Organization teams may opt for 4-pad mode hardware, and the 4-pad mode must be followed throughout the duration of the event. Oh, Dylan, just the way to say timer so they aren't locked into speed stacks. Let's go. Fight the power. Fight the monopoly. That's great. Okay, I love that. The middle finger must not pass more than 1 inch past the most forward sensors on a timer prior to the timer starting. There are clear measures. You can't have your middle finger more than an inch past the forward sensors on a timer. This is all very clear. Does this all sound kind of familiar about something that happened recently, everyone? The competitor may not touch the puzzle prior to the timer starting. Prior to the top 8, competitors will be called... Prior to the top 8, competitors will be called to seating by event staff when their match is next. The higher seed will inform the judge if they would like to solve first or solve second. The subsequent solves will be executed in an alternating solve format. If there are multiple sets in a match, the competitor who starts attempt 1 first will be solving second for the first attempt of the next set. Yep. Alternate solving. Yes, okay. Competitors in the same match will see the same scramble related to the number solve they are on, and competitor B will receive the same scramble for their second solves. Sure, we're allowed to look. Swagrid, Rage Against the Machine, the Speedstacks factory production machines. Upon reaching the top 8 competitors, there will only be 1 solving station for competitor A and 1 waiting area seat for competitor B. Hold on. We're getting into the top 8 and things are changing here. Upon reaching the top 8 competitors, there will only be 1 solving station for competitor A and 1 waiting area seat for competitor B. The setup still follows the snake solve format, with the only change being that when a competitor is called to solve, the competitors switch seats. Okay, sure. Not my comp, not my rules. Does this sound a bit overcomplicated? I'm not sure if I'm maybe misunderstanding this. Oh, Dylan Miller, imagine bowling. One goes up to bowl while the other sits and then they switch. Okay, yeah, all right, okay. Mango, are the seeded times for a competitor's first event based on WCA times? No, that was further up in the regs. They submit recordings of solves, is my understanding. That was further up in the document, wasn't it? Yeah, it's like snooker table or bowling or darts. Okay. I don't hate that, but like what Patrick was saying, I think, I haven't seen it yet. Let's not forget, this doesn't exist. This doesn't exist yet. But what I think I would prefer, and this is just my own reckon, I'm not going to get on Cubecast Friends and piss my pants about it. But I think I'd probably prefer to see like a Red Bull head-to-head solving at the same time. I think that would be cool as. But I will remain open-minded. I will approach this with an open mind and see how this goes. During the top 8, there will be a 1-minute break between sets. During the top 8, competitors are allocated a 1 to 2 minute timeout that can be used while the competitor calling the timeout is next to solve. That's a bit confusing. Oh, yeah. During the top 8, competitors are allocated 1 2-minute timeout that can be used when the competitor calling the timeout is next to solve. Okay, no, I just misunderstood that. My brain's very small and smooth. That's why I was not having a good time with that. Chris Mills is here. Hello, Chris. Are you going to fly to America and do the PSL? Is that something you're going to do? Defined as immediately after the opponent finishes their solve up to when the competitor is about to begin their inspection period. Okay, so that's your window for calling a timeout. Puzzles. Puzzles must have clearly distinguishable colors on each face. Scramble orientation is white face top, green face in front. So this all looks legit. Like, this is all legit. If one or both colors are not available or white and green are opposite faces, orientation follows the lightest face on top with the darkest adjacent face in front. Okay, cool. If you're using a wacky color scheme just to mess with people. Speedcubing TV, you need Chris and commentating for sure. Incidents. All incidents can fall under the scope of the code of conduct. All incidents are... Now, you should all go and read the code of conduct. I'm not going to go through that today, but it's pretty good, I think, in my opinion. And I was very impressed that they had a code of conduct up as one of the first things they had up. Too long didn't read. The code of conduct says, if you're a creep, you're going to get kicked out. Which is bloody refreshing. Honestly. If you're a creep, you're out on your arse. Okay? I love that. It is very clear and very unambiguous. And that is set up right from the word go. If a puzzle is misaligned by 1 move plus 2 second penalty is applied. Misalignment is determined if the layer is turned equal to or greater than 45 degrees from home position. If a competitor matches or exceeds 15 seconds... Hold on now. Do we need something that says clearly there that an M slice is a DNF? Michael, have we missed something? If a competitor matches or exceeds 15 seconds of inspection, they get a +2 penalty. If they exceed 17 seconds, the attempt is disqualified. This is so WCA coded. This should be official. That's my take. If a competitor has improper initiation of the competition timer, the attempt is disqualified. Oh, okay. So if you don't start the timer properly, that's on you, buddy. DNF. In the event of a tie... Oh, okay, yeah. In the event of a tie, both competitors are allocated a win. If the match was 2-2 and a tie takes place, an extra solve is allocated to both competitors, defined as sudden death. Ooh. I mean, it's unlikely. Dylan campaigning that M moves should be +2s now. I think that's probably a mistake by Michael, right? I think that's just I might ping him a message about that. But hey, you haven't specifically talked about M slices, but maybe it's covered in there. Maybe it's covered in there where it's saying 1 face, and you can argue, and you know, an M slice is technically 2 faces, isn't it? Technically speaking, that's actually that's 2 faces. I think you might have got me on that. Okay, each subsequent tie after a competitor achieves 3 wins is resolved. I would love to see a tie in a 2-2 match. It's pretty unlikely. In the event of a timer malfunction, both competitors will reset the attempt and receive a new scramble. Okay. False starts are defined as the timer stopping at 0.06 seconds or less. Well, there you are, everyone. Those are the regs. Thoughts? We've now done a deep dive on the regs. Thoughts on those regs, everyone? Thoughts, feelings, emotions? They look fairly clear. The only thing that's not clear... The only thing that's not clear for me, and let's remember, my perspective is a small smooth brain. My perspective is, my opinion is that maybe he's missed something there about the M slice +2. You know what I mean? Let's imagine Dylan's in the competition, lands a M slice DNF. Is he able to look at the regs and go, actually, sir, that's a +2? I don't know if that's been made clear enough. I don't know. No one's talking anything about it. I don't know. I want to poll my audience right now. You know I love a poll. Start a poll. Reckons for initial. Now that I've made my case, which is that I think it's going to be fun. Initial feelings about PSL. I'm going to frame this around. I'm hyped. No, wait. I'm just going to... The question is... Hold on a minute. You want to see this? You want to see me goofing around on this? Let's say... Hyped for PSL? Or specifically, hyped to watch PSL? Because most... Let's be real. Let's be real. Majority of people in the chat right now, we're not going to be competing in PSL. We're going to be watching it, right? Hyped for PSL? Yes or no? You tell me. Okay, you tell me, Timothy. Are we hyped for PSL or not? Oh, where's my... Whoops. There it is. That's what I need. Whoop. Are we hyped for PSL? Let the people speak. 8 votes in. 10 votes in. Who are all these negative Nancys? Who are all these friends of Cubecks? Are you a friend of Cubecks? I don't know. I probably went too hard. And I got a little bit overexcited there, bagging on the post on Cubecks Friends. But I'm hyped to watch this. I think this is going to be fun. if you've watched the interview on it was on +3 when Michael was talking about sponsors outside Speedcubing, and he was talking about Cheetos, and I also was like nodding along to that, just being like, okay, I think like I am clearly biased because I am aligned in my thinking with Michael Chai. I think we're pretty much on the same page about a lot of things, about big picture approaches to what's going on in Speedcubing, and I'm super hyped for it. I'm ready to watch some cubing. Honestly, that's all I want. I just want to watch some cubing. That's all I want. Is that too much to ask? I don't think so. And Michael Chai is taking the initiative and is and he's getting it going. He's getting it up and running. He's actually doing the thing. He's putting his money. Well, he's putting money where his mouth is. Mango, predictions on who the first non-cubing related sponsor will be. We've okay, yes, but not. Oh my god, I just got what you were saying about pumpkin spice latte, PSL. Oh, funny. Naming things is hard, hey? Naming things is hard. Because I'm not the first Cubecast. There's been other Cubecasts. It's such an obvious name. And I did Google it. And I did see all the old ones. And I went, meh, they're not around anymore. I don't care. Here we go. Predictions on who the first non-cubing related sponsor will be. Not including Prime. Dylan, I see you. Not including Prime or Milo. Or the glasses company that sponsored Leo, or the hand warming company that sponsors Dylan. So apart from those 4 who are already in, who will be the first? I think a snack food's a good idea. Dylan was talking about Subway. Dylan, you need to know the lore about me and Subway. I used to be a sandwich artist when I was actually about your age. No, I was a bit older than you. I was, 22 or 23. I was a sandwich artist. So me and Subway go way back. I'm more of a Taco Bell guy now because we got Taco Bell in Christchurch, which is pretty big. But yeah, getting a fast food sponsor. And like, actually, Dylan, I thought about this. Oh, true. James, we've got one in New Zealand. We've got the sushi shop that sponsored Angela Braganza. Dylan, Subways are all franchised. So you can go and speak to the franchisor of the store and be like, yo, like if you got a local Subway, you could probably set up a Subway sponsorship, like non-ironically. I reckon you could do that given what I know about how Subway stores are managed. They're all franchised. The franchise is owned by just a person. That person, as I understand it, has the ability to sponsor you. Would be my understanding. So go for it. Get that, King. Get that Subway sponsorship. Curious Nick knows someone who's sponsored by a bubble tea shop. Lots of food sponsorships available. Is that all I needed to say about that? Yeah, we've talked about StuCube's video and about PSL in general. We've talked about the PSL regulations. We've talked about PSL and Cubist Friends. Gosh dang, I'm already content farming it. A corporate Subway sponsor, ideally Millen, would be the way to go. Did I just call you Millen? Dylan would be the way to go. But hey, you can start somewhere, right? Start somewhere. What's the worst that can happen? Reach out. They can say no. I'm willing to tell you guys this. I've reached out to a couple of sponsors who I have not heard back from. And that's fine because that's literally the worst that could happen. I reached out to GamerSups and G Fuel, who are like, they sponsor gaming channels. They're like just sort of, they look like supplements, but they're just like hydration things. Some of them have caffeine in them as well. Because I want some, first of all. I think they're cool. They make things with funny names. And I think they're a really good fit probably for my audience, which is a bit older. You know, most of you are later teens than early teens, or you're in your 20s, you know. Oh, Clicky Studios with SeatGeek, of course. I beg your pardon. Yeah, Clicky Studios have got SeatGeek, which is a pretty good find, actually. I thought that was a great bag. Do you know someone? Do you know someone at SeatGeek? How did you get that? I'm interested. Thomas, based. Imagine McDonald's and Cubing collab with Cubes and Happy Meals. Well, we had that. And that was another thing, and people forget about that. Around the time of, just before COVID, around the time of the Speedcubers, around the time of Red Bull, we also had Rubik's Cubes in freaking McDonald's Happy Meals. That was the thing that happened. Let's not forget. 2019 might be before some of your times. The results are in, by the way, and we've got a 93% hype rating in here in my audience today. Lucas Etter had Skillshare. That's cool as well. Now, I was gonna say there was another poll. There was a poll in Cubers Friends about so we can compare our level of audience hype to the Cubers Friends audience hype. It's a different question, so it's not an exact comparison. Right, I've got to check the chat in a second. But the Premier Speedcubing League PSL, the pumpkin spice latte is a good idea, neutral, or bad idea. So good idea and neutral have got 85% and 15% of negative Nancy saying bad idea. It's a bad idea. Can we see who did that? Can we see who did that? Oh shoot, I just voted for it. No! I said good idea. I wanted to see who voted for it. Bad idea. Look at these. Look at these negative Nancys. Look at them all. Look at them all. Boo. I don't think this is okay, what I'm doing right now. I don't think this is okay. Good idea. Yes, there we are. I'm not going to be welcome back in Cubers Friends. If we're talking of, James, if we're talking of one-off sponsorships, there was the Cubehead. Did Cubehead do a Manscaped sponsorship? That's hilarious. I don't think did he really? I don't remember that. It's not like, it's not my, it's just, its content's a bit young for me. I don't watch that much of it. I did watch his last one because I wanted to see if he responded about, Prosta's video. Cubehead did, man. Even if I got, could you imagine? That would be too cringe for words. Swagrid went to bed the night the PSL podcast video dropped and dreamt of a future when the PSL succeeded quite well. And now some Cubers have sponsors from esport orgs. The trouble with esports is a lot of it is backed by like real shady gambling sites. And I don't think I want that personally. I don't think I want that. There's a whole lot to go into there. I can't believe Qhead did a Manscaped sponsorship. That's hilarious. I mean, go off, King. Get that bag. Like, absolutely. But really? That's amazing. That's tickled me so good. Especially his audience. That's amazing. That's amazing. Estevan, you're allowed to have an opinion that you don't think it's the future. I disagree. I think it's got an opportunity. I think it has the opportunity to be. It may be that it's not PSL. Maybe it's something after PSL. Maybe PSL does burn out. But I think it's got such potential to be a really good, entertaining thing. Right, let's do some yapping. Let's talk some smack, eh? Oh, yeah, most of the gambling money from esports goes into specifically CS rosters. Yes, Swaggered, there's a whole lot we could go into about Counter-Strike, gambling, and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty dark, actually. It's pretty dark. You can go ahead and go and do some research about that on your own, Timmy, if you want to look at that. I don't know if I want to talk about it on here. Let's talk about what happened with our young friend Cubing with Arsen. Background. We're going to talk about we're going to go through his post on Reddit. But Arsen was a small creator I say was. He's not dead. His channel's gone. His channel's been deleted. Okay. Arsen, I'm pretty convinced is Irish, based purely on his accent, and I think the competitions that I've seen him go to. Arsen he's tried a few different types of content. He's going through the YouTuber pipeline. He's throwing things at the wall, working out what sticks. None of it stuck particularly well, but then he found success. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends beyond the binary, he found success in the slop game, but at great cost, because he made a video called CubeRoot is a Bad Person, and in it, he spoke about the sort of the allegations against CubeRoot. Those allegations are that he groomed a young girl in sending him images of herself. We have those screenshots of the messages with Chinese translation. That in itself is difficult, but the evidence is all there about that. My understanding is that someone I know who has been in conversation with CubeRoot has essentially, there is an admission from CubeRoot that this person got that yeah, he did do that. Those are his messages and those are his actions. So that is the fact of the matter. And I think this incident went down around 5 years ago. That is also a fact. It's not an excuse or anything. It's not excusing anything. Those are the facts as I understand them. Arsen clearly had just heard about this, but it comes up every now and then as each new generation of cubers comes in and they have to be reminded about it. He made a video called CubeRoot is a Bad Person. And in my opinion, he went a little bit too far in that video. He used the P word, the PDF file word, which is a pretty big old accusation there. Pretty big thing to say. And is probably slander or libel. I forget which one is which. But he made that video. He referenced this document full of evidence. He was like, I think this exists. I haven't seen it. But then he talks to it like he has seen it. So I was like, brother, what are you doing? What are you doing? You can't just talk about something that you think exists but you haven't read. What are you doing? And you can't be throwing around PDF files and accusation. What are you doing? What are you doing? It was wild. I couldn't believe it. I actually downloaded the video. I'm not going to go through it though. Because I don't think that's necessarily fair on Arsen. He's lost his channel. Like, that's happened. But I'm going to go through how he's lost his channel, what happened in there, and where that went. I just want to draw your attention to the chat where we have some breaking news that Patrick Ponce and Dylan Miller seem to be agreeing to a race 1v1 for $100 on Speedcubing TV. We have ourselves a match here, everyone. Epic. We're making history. We're making cubing happen right here in live stream chat on Cubecast. I love to see that. Okay. Back to the story at hand, everyone, which is not nearly as fun. But yeah, here we go. This is a statement from, this is a pretty wild statement from Cubing with Arsen. Hi, if you know me, you probably know that I have or had a channel called Cubing with Arsen. I was sort of popular with 780 subs and growing pretty quickly. Well, you were growing pretty quickly after that video. But recently I made a video about a controversy to do with popular Chinese cuber CubeRoot. The video was about the evidence, or at least what suggested to be proof, that CubeRoot talked and interacted inappropriately to a minor online. I understand that the video couldn't be 100% true since it was all allegations, and to be honest, I was making it sound like it was 100% true. Facts. You ran with some stuff that is, you know, it's not necessarily even this already. I think you're missing the mark. It wasn't that you said it was, you just didn't use the document and you inflated it to suit your narrative. Which is very dangerous. Someone could have easily faked these messages to try and ruin CubeRoot's reputation, which if it was all lies, I'd be totally against someone trying to ruin someone else's reputation to the point of calling them a PDF file. Well, that was a big error in calling them that. How are you going from However, this could also be true, but I have no way of finding out the whole story. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, Arsen. You could have asked someone. You could have reached out. There's a whole document here. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, so that's already not a great start because you're flip-flopping like crazy. After uploading the video, some people are on CubeRoot's side saying he did nothing wrong and there's no way to prove if he did it. And I agree mostly, except there is a document which has proof in it. I also remember someone commenting that someone a while back also made a video and later removed it. I was intrigued and checked the channel and there was no mention of CubeRoot on it. So yeah, that is also true. There was a video and that was also taken down. Either to stop false career-ending rumors or to stop the actual truth from getting out, CubeRoot, and I'm guessing that he also teamed up with other popular Chinese channels like Yihang and CubeStation to mass strike my channel, send multiple copyright claims. So again, we're just guessing. We're guessing here. So you're still not in conversation with CubeRoot? You haven't reached out to anyone? Multiple copyright strikes. So it gets terminated. Now, on one side, I would say that this is not fair at all. YouTube will ban your channel if you get 3 or more copyright strikes. Yes. So that's why they did it all at once. Which YouTube should also fix. Sir, you can appeal it, I'm pretty sure. Like, why? So he's mad that this system exists that got him banned. Saying there should be a cooldown. And if I decide not to and appeal, then send the next one and I do all the same for all 3, then ban me since I'm not appealing on why they should stop me or removing the content. So, on the other hand, I totally understand why they probably did it. CubeRoot is a very important cubing personality in China because he has all the Yihang Wang WR footage. That's problematic in itself. And to have someone disrespect or criticize him to the point that people might start boycotting him or reporting him is very bad for them. I didn't tell anyone to report him, but some might have. So to ensure I won't criticize him or anyone else is important to them, they striked me. So it was kind of slander, brother. It was kind of slander. Like, there is evidence of improper actions that exist, and you should have spoke to them. You shouldn't have inflated them. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. That was wild. Also, side note, it is kind of my fault for having so much of other people's footage on my channel and vids without asking for permission. No, well, if it's fair use, you have an absolutely fair case. But even with permission, they would probably ban me. No, if you've made transformative content, it's not about that. You should be able to appeal this. But take that video down. If I ever make another channel, I'll first make sure not to be really critical about anyone. No, you should be critical. You're allowed to be critical. But don't, like, falsely accuse someone of something that there is no evidence for. And to be clear, we have evidence that he sent improper messages to a young person. You can't conflate that to calling this person a PDF file on a public platform. That for me was overstepping. So to end this off, I want to personally apologize because I should have thought about everything before posting that video. That may have put a stain on your career and it will never happen again. To Yihang Wang and CubeStation, I apologize for using content without prior permission. But can someone comment underneath the post how to properly do this? Because I try to sometimes, but I can never find an email. And I hope you can at least understand where I'm coming from. My video was made and published only with good intentions and not to harm anyone's reputation. How can you say that? Yeah, Curious Nick, that's what I'm saying. The messages are real, but Arsen never ever looked at the document. He just started yapping. And there's yapping and there's going way beyond yapping. And he went way beyond yapping. Whoops, hit the mic. He went beyond yapping. Arsen, if I were you and you want to come back into like into that kind of content, into the sloppish content, you've got to watch a lot of slop content. You can, because people get things wrong all the time and people mess up all the time. Touch wood, I've never done a wild one yet. I've never had to I've got things wrong, but I've never like full on accused someone of something yet. If I'm honest, I'm slightly worried that I went too hard on the Cubers Friends comments today. It's not personal, all right, everyone. It's not personal. I was just mad. I was just disappointed. Curious Nick, the video wasn't smart. The main message wasn't wrong. The intention was correct. The intention was fine. It was letting a new generation of Cubers know about what's going on, but he didn't do any research. He didn't reach out to anyone to ask about it. He just went pretty hard. I don't think he read the messages. he keeps talking about a document, but he doesn't link it in his description or anything like that. But he still conflated what was there as fact into, in my opinion. I'm not trying to sound like a defender. I'm gonna get to the end of this, and then I'll summarize what I'm talking about. I might try to get the channel back or make a new one, though. If I make a new one, it probably won't be too soon, because now I have a good reason to take a break from creating video content. Blah 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 blah. And if I do get it back, the first thing I'll do is remove the CubeRoot video and remove the clips or videos. Yeah, sure. Like, I don't think you should be kicked off the internet forever. Absolutely not. I hope you can appeal this, and I hope you can get it back. So you made a mistake cubing with Arsen. It was a serious mistake. Like, that is true. You made a pretty gnarly, I think probably just, it's an error of judgment. You conflated evidence into, I think, something new. And I think that was a mistake there. And you really did go straight for the jugular of someone's reputation, regardless of who that person is. You did go straight for the rep. Is that a good thing to do or not? That is up for debate. So I got distracted. Swagrid. I mean, Arsen is like a child, right? Yeah, he's very, very young. And he got completely out of his depth. Yeah, that's true. No hate. No hate to Arsen. Like, I'm not... Keep going, Arsen. I would love to see you back creating again. I would love to see you become successful. 780 subs. You'll get back there, even with a new channel. You'll do fine. So... here's the thing, though. I don't like something that is a result of this. Because CubeRoot has shown his hand. He has shown that he will abuse the YouTube copyright system if you talk about things that he doesn't want you to talk about. And I don't like that. That feels like bullying, right? That feels like him essentially saying, don't talk about that or I will strike your channel. I'm a bit nervous talking about it because I don't want to get struck. He can't. At this point, I don't think he has the ability to strike me. I think what I've said is all true based on the evidence that we have. But I don't like... I don't like... Two things I don't like. He has a monopoly on Yiheng's footage. That's... Well, I don't mind that. Someone has to have the monopoly on Yiheng's footage. That's going to happen. But I don't like that he has basically said, and we can construe this as, don't criticize me or I'll strike your channel. I don't like that. I don't think that's a good place for us to be. Right? So, I think I will probably leave this up as my CubeRoot video so that there is something up, because any video about him that's been made and taken down, it's probably gone too far. I don't think I've gone too far today. I think I've presented everything it is, and I'll link to the evidence document as it exists in the description. And what I mean when I say he's got a monopoly on the footage, he's always there creating his own. He's always there with Yiheng in practice and at competitions. You know what I mean? So he's the one who has the best access to Yiheng's footage, is what I mean when I say he has a monopoly. But there's multiple people who are filming Yiheng when he's at a competition. So everyone's got their own video that they can upload. But what I mean is he's got access to Yiheng like nobody else does. He's super close to the family. He films Yiheng when he's practicing. That's what I mean by that. Okay, does that make sense? Monopoly was maybe the wrong word. And I think that's all I've got to say about that, everyone. Now, Shall we have a look? You know what? For a palate cleanser, shall we have some ads, everyone? Let's have some ads, hey? Let's have some capitalism to clear the air, everyone. Hey, do you like cubes and you live in America or other places that I can't ship cubes to? Then go to Speedcube shop and use code Cubecast to save 5%. Do you want to learn how to do cubes real good? As good as or better than me, Mike Field, star of the MSL? Use code Cubecast to save 5% on any of their amazing courses. And if you live in New Zealand or Australia, use code Cubecast to save, I think it's 5% at speedcube.co.nz. Last layer cubing if you want to buy a shirt. And you can also buy cube sauce at my store. It's good. It makes your cubes spin real good. And you can also buy that at Crafty Cubes in Australia as well. Official retailers of cube sauce. Which is good, isn't it, everyone? Keep your eyes peeled for more cube sauce retailers coming in the future. Oh, far out. I'm really hungry. I might have to go. I'm going to go and grab a snack before we look at this hardware. I'm just like a real streamer. I've got to take... the stream's going on a bit today, so I've got to take a 2-minute break. Not even a 2-minute. I'm going to run off and grab a snack, okay? Just talk among yourselves. Have fun in the chat. Can we still talk to 8Ball in the chat? Is that still there? 8Ball. Are you still there? Let's find out. I don't know if it is. Yeah. 8Ball's still there. Have a play around with 8Ball, everyone. Have a chat to 8Ball and see how you go. I don't have a be right back screen, so I'm going to put up this technical difficulties screen instead, all right? I'll be right back. Yum. How are we going, everyone? How are we doing? How's the 8-ball? Is everyone being nice to 8-ball? 8-ball, is Mike actually leaving? The 8-ball thinks so. I'm so sorry for people who can't handle eating noises. Yinzer Cuber, what is happening? I went for a pee and a snack. In that order. Ephemeca, we might get a sub 10. Let's go. Felix is still the GOAT. Coronier's going to get 3x3 WR, according to 8-ball. That's good, eh? Thanks for sticking around, everyone. This is a long stream today. All right. Sorry. Is this content? I guess it is, eh? Nom nom nom. I got more coffee as well, so I can fly off the handle at someone. I feel like I've been a bit aggro this stream. And I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry about it. Anything happening on our cubers? Swagrid, you were the first in the world cubing mukbang. Okay. Whoa. Breaking news. Cookie Robber, aka James McDermott, is going to finish ZB today. Swagrid, do we rate that? You like CBA. You're one of those. ZB is the best, guys. Hey. Right. Shut up, everyone, would you? Zafford, you're good at eating. I'm not sure how to take that. I'm not sure how to respond to that. Let's have a look at the Ferrocore. The Watto core? The Ferrocore, Timmy. That's what we're talking about. This is, as I understand, a collaboration between Moyu, Cubehead, and the Cubicle. It is the following. The ultimate evolution in Moyu's flagship series. This cube is outfitted with metal parts connecting the core with the center and custom magnets and springs. The Ferrocore comes with steel grey internals and a matte plastic exterior. Great. Just as Cubehead loves it. Okay, Cubehead don't got time for gloss. He's busy manscaping. The custom magnets and springs in this puzzle give it a satisfying, snappy, and responsive feel. Okay. Do you understand what any of that means? I believe it might have been posted about in a no Cubes. Yes, search for that. Come on. Here we are. This has got a bunch of comments. Let's see what all the Timmies are saying. Ferrocore sounds like a hardcore music genre. That's kind of funny. Is this pre the video? Someone claiming here to be part of the project? I don't know. Let's just watch the video about it. Okay. Ferrocore. It's not a music genre, you see. Right, let's have a look at the Cubicle's video about it. Let's see what they have to say. How's the levels there, everyone? Is that okay?
Hey everyone, this is Phil. Welcome back to another video. Today I'll be showing you a really cool project that we've been actually working on for a really cool project. This is the Weilong Ferrocore edition made by Moyu and Cubehead. So let's check it out.
Well, what about Cubehead's connection with
so
with
this
Moyu?
review is slightly biased, but the Waitangi V10 is my main. I can main this cube as well, and this is 100% main worthy, and I'll be explaining why in this video.
Tell
just
me
letting you know
what
that
it
the
is,
cube and
please.
the cube inside. Hey, look at him. He features his new sight. So that sight has a mix of, this is the cube, comes in a Moyu battle axe, Chinese pamphlet.
I want to see what it is.
So this is the cube. It is $39.99 on the Cubicle only. This is a Cubicle exclusive. Cubehead designed this logo. It's pretty neat. And it is matte plastic because Cubehead likes matte plastic.
Cubehead like
Steven's
matte?
nodding in the back
Okay.
because he also likes matte plastic.
Oh,
This
wait
is
a second, Philip. You know what? It's time to answer this. It's time that it's about time my chat had their say. Which is the best? Frosted or UV goated? Which is the best, everyone? It's pretty simple. Which is the best, frosted or UV goated? I think I'm... What's a harder question than I thought, actually. I think I'm probably UV. No, actually, that's not true, eh? I think I could take either. I should have put a third option of like, meh. If I had to choose one, I think I'm probably UV. Even though my newest cube, my little Tornado V4 with the blue bits inside for extra swag, is, well, it's kind of a flat frosted. Is it frosted or is it? It's kind of gloss, actually. It's like, it's already glossy. Just normal glossy. Oh, I should have put gloss as an option. Right, this is a bad poll. Bad poll, everyone. I am ready to admit that that's a bad poll. The results of my bad poll so far are that UV goated are pulling ahead, but you know. Yeah, it wasn't a great poll. I could have done better.
Basically, a Waitangi V10 with matte plastic that is more flexible, and
it's a Waitangi V10 with matte plastic, which is more flexible.
Is that the stock on the core fit very tightly when it was plastic on the stock V10, so that did not give the cube much maneuverability in that area. This piece is a little thinner on our core, so it has a little more wiggle room. It has
so
a
it's
red
a smaller
core,
ball,
which is the strong Moyu core. We specifically requested this core in order to make sure that the core was as strong and resilient as possible.
Dave's demanding a new poll, and I think that's fair. This is a bad poll. I'm going to do another one. So let's get this right. Let's get this right this time, everyone, okay? Start a poll. So which is the best? I need the options here. UV. Frosted. Then we need gloss. Right? And then what do we need? I don't care. Is that everything we need? I can't see the chat, unfortunately. Glossy. Oh, okay. No, that's just Vera's opinion coming in. Okay. I'll unpin this, then I can actually see something. I'll just make this bigger. Come on, Mike. Use your brain. Is this looking okay? Is this looking okay? UV frosted gloss. I don't care. That's better, hey? Because it gives you the don't care option. Start poll. It's happening. I like that it's got springs in it. I like that the Ferrocore has springs. That's pretty cool.
And it has steel gray internals, which I think is really cool.
Not as cool as blue. Soz about it.
This thing here. It has a custom spring, so this cube is not maglev. It has a custom spring that we picked out of a collection of, I don't know how many springs they sent.
That's kind of cool. I do like how in depth they've gone with this. It's quite cool. I don't know if we've seen a collaboration that's this in depth between a manufacturer and a And a reseller?
There were many springs,
You know what I mean?
and then we were just a bunch of nerds in the back, just putting the springs in.
Cookie
and
Robert, the
trying to
Shankshaw
figure out
finish
which
is
spring
absolutely
good.
unhinged.
So at one point, we actually lost track of
Mr.
which
M.
spring we were using because there were too many springs. So we had to mail the spring back to Moyu to get them to confirm that it was actually the spring. So that's one of the weirder packages I've sent back to China is just like a singular spring. We were like, yeah, we like this guy.
That is quite
so there's a
unhinged.
special spring in here. You can also see this part of the cube is not plastic anymore, so it is stronger. So that
Which
is,
part of the
a new
cube?
core is not plastic guy.
Which
So
I'm
there's a
because
special
I'm
spring
confused
in
about
here.
this. What is the metal
You can
part?
also see this part of the cube is not plastic anymore.
Is he talking about the actual like the stock of the core? You know what I mean?
So it is stronger. So that is a new core, the red bong core, which is stronger, a new spring, a new exterior, and an internal color. So
Because we've seen a lot recently, haven't we, of plastic core like stocks, and they've been failing on people, particularly in the tornado. Hey, so that's cool. I mean, I don't have a Worm V10 on me right now, so I can't see if that's metal or not. But hold on, what Moyu stuff have I got? What Moyu have I got lying around? Nothing. Actually, nothing. I've got a Super RS3M. That's plastic. They're always plastic because they've got screws going into them. So actually, yeah, but actually. So is this a metal core? Is that what's happening here? Because that's essentially unbreakable. You know, compared to plastic, it's unbreakable. But if that's what's happening here, then that's actually
that's what
pretty
makes this
massive.
cube special. Let's put it together and show you the turning.
Has there
This is the
ever
box.
been a 3x3 with a metal core?
The cube is factory looped. It's really light, and I think
You can go and watch the rest of this video. I'm not going to play the whole thing. But is that essentially what it is? It's got is that red ball core the worm? Is that from the V9? So it's a worm V10 with a metal core. Metal core is a genre. It's a worm V10 with a metal core, springs, specially selected springs, and frosted finish. Is that what I'm hearing? Dylan Miller, are you still in the chat? Because you'll get access to one of these. Your Moyu and your cubicle. Are you there, Mr. Miller? And have you used one of these? Because I would love to hear what you reckon about it. But anyway, that's the Ferrocore. It looks interesting. The Worm V10. Metal core, it looks like. And a red ball. Ferrocore sure sounds like it has a metal core. Yes, but then I had other people trying to tell me that it was just the metal parts that they were talking about being springs. Yeah, the red ball is still plastic, but they're plastic parts around the core. Because you just have a core and then they attach the plastic ball onto it. Looks like the Worm V9 20 magnet ball core, but that seems to be around an actual metal core. So like what I mean by that is the 6 bits that you put a screw into or a rivet or whatever to keep your adjustment system on, where your centers go, that looks like it's all metal now. Has there ever been a metal core on a 3x3 is my question. Because if not, then that's, I feel like, rather than saying like we've got metal parts, just be like it's a full metal core, if that's what it is, unless I'm misunderstanding what it is. It's just a little bit mysterious. I'm intrigued by it. It's just a little bit mysterious, that's all. But nonetheless, very, very cool. Now, the Cubicle also had a look at the YJ. I've had a little look at this, but let's go back and see what's happening here. Oh, hello. I've made YouTube unhappy.
Today we're going to show you something really interesting, and that is this weird YJ cube that we have. We received these yesterday.
Well, it's a YJ cube. It's always going to be weird.
The thing about this cube is that there are these cutouts on the center caps. I don't know what these are for. Initially, I thought it was for some sort of smart cube.
Why can't YJ, like, they cannot resist. They cannot resist a little goof. They cannot resist on making something funky. Like, well, that center cap, does it solve a purpose?
Cube robot, but I don't think YJ makes something like that, so it makes me wonder
There
what
is
that
no
is.
YJ
but
Cube
certainly
robot
got the
as far as I can
conversation
remember.
started. The last few YJ cubes I've absolutely trashed, so we'll see how this goes.
Well, everyone has, because
Anyways, you're
they
in the way.
sucked.
Hold on.
Like, they did suck.
Gotta show you the shirt I'm wearing.
I tried to love the EST. On reflection, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay at best. It's too squishy, it's goofy. No one means it.
The line here is stock. This one is slightly lubed, so I'll show you how the stock one turns.
Oh, it sounds kind of nice. Sounds thick.
Yeah, very comfortable.
JC, my
Yeah,
mate mains the
extremely
EST.
comfortable,
Okay, I
extremely
stand
soft.
corrected.
Honestly, it gives me some Diane vibes, like the Tengyun.
It sounds like
feels
that is
like
so
in
funny.
Mark.
That is so funny. I was just trying to place that sound. And it sounds like a Diane. He's... Hold on. Hold on. I got a Diane something. Yeah, it's got that... It's got that deep sort of sound like a Diane. You know what I mean? Ooh. You see what I mean? It's got that deep sound like a Diane.
Version of the
I rate
Tengyun.
that.
So if Diane produced this cube,
I think that's a
wouldn't
Tengyun
be like,
V4.
Did you really make a cube like that? I would totally believe it, because this does definitely have that Diane vibe to it. Let's take a look.
Well,
at
that's
this cube
pretty
here.
good
So this
praise
cube
already,
is
isn't it?
lubed with FC Stealth. Let's do some solves.
So, Phil in not hating YJ 3x3 shocker.
Yeah, so the EPLLs that I use M slices on make me a little bit nervous, but the
Phil hates an M slice. He's like hyper fixated on the M slice whenever he reviews a cube. Parity, that is absolutely valid. Go to bed, for goodness sake. I wanted to look at Andy Mock. Andy Mock had some solves on this thing as well. Andy Mock. Doo-ba-doo-doo-ba-doo. Let's see. YJMGC. And he doesn't... It's just solves this video. His one sounds way more rattly, though. Solving on orange. What a badass. I wonder if this is camera placement. Oh, sorry, mic placement. That's giving us that, because this keyboard sounds rattly as well. Let's go back and see. There's another one. Or is there? I thought you had two videos on the YG on the MGC 3x3. I guess not. No, he did. He absolutely did yesterday. Has he deleted a video? That's interesting. I'm convinced that he had two videos on the YJMGC yesterday. But we're certainly getting a slightly different sound. I wonder if it's this mic down here that's recording, because that could be a reason why. But Andy Mock is having a nice time on the new YJ. What else can I tell you? There was a 664 average of 5. 652. Oh, here we go. If you're still reading, here's a 673 average of 5 on StackNet. Here we go. That sounds more like a Diane now. There's nothing in here about the performance of the cube. All we can see is just some smooth looking cubes. Is this the new Tengyun? Did YJ make the new Tengyun, everyone? Is that what's happening? That'd be kind of wild. Let's just see. YJ. Oh, what would it be? MGC. 26 days ago, new MGC 3x3. I like that logo. That's cool. What are people saying? Looks a bit like a GAN cube. No, I don't think so. Reminds me of a Worm 2019. I got that vibe from the centers, hey. Speed holes. It's either Smart Cube stuff or it's for a GAN 15S unnecessary center cap remover. Yeah, good speculation. Chang, close up of the Ferrocore. Have you got one? Have you got a close up of the Ferrocore we can look at? Well, what can I tell you about the MGC 3x3? Not heaps, honestly, apart from the big story, which is that Phil didn't immediately tear it apart. Yeah, it was teased a month ago. Lots of people saying it looks like it's going to be a smart cube or something. I don't think it is. Evidently, from Phil's point of view, it's not. I don't know. What do you want? If indeed MGC are about to, if indeed YJ are about to release a 3x3 that is not a complete turd, I think that's exciting news for us all. If YJ are about to accidentally release the new Diane Tangyun, then I think that's exciting news for us all. Chang, you have a close-up of the Ferrocore. Can you send me that on Discord or something? I would love to have a look. Have you got one? Like, have you got the puzzle, or is this a picture that you found somewhere? If you can send it to my Discord, or you can email it to me, help@speedcube.co.nz. We'll hang around and we'll take a look at that. And then I'll probably call it a day because I've run out of things to talk about, honestly. Oh, thank you, Wesley. I've got your cringe submission. That's great news. Love to see it. Love to see that. Yeah, what are we doing here, Chang? Are you going to send me an image or what are we doing here? What are we doing? Thank you all for hanging out today. I hope you've had a nice time. I've had a great time. It's good to be back. I can't wait to get some videos cut up and uploaded. It's quite tragic, hey, but so I release all my videos come out at 1 a.m. local time here, so that it's like in the morning in America, because that's where most of my audience are. And I love waking up in the morning, and honestly, this is probably not good for me or my mental health ongoing long term. But I love the first thing I do in the morning is I look and I see how a video's gone, and I'm like, ooh, okay, people like that one. That's nice. Feel validated when people watch a video. Or then other times I put up a video and I go, ooh, people didn't watch that. Oh no, that's sad. But it's always good fun, and I've kind of missed it. It's a little bit chronically online. It's a little bit content-brained. It's ultimately probably not a good thing, but I miss it and I want it back. I want my videos going up. So I'll cut all my clips today. Remember, if you're a member, you'll get to watch all of those clips like straight away. So if you want to click on join, $2 a month, you can become a channel member, get access to cool badges and emojis and all that kind of stuff. And also you get to watch the videos like as soon as they're finished. As soon as I upload them, they're available for members. And you have to wait a bit longer if you're a non-member. Chang, if you have a link, you should be able to drop the link in the chat, I think. Give it a try. Breaking news as well. Let's just wrap up the last poll of the day as well. Which is the best? UV taking 47%. 28% of my audience are absolutely checked out. Could not care less. Frosted and Gloss. Frosted and Gloss are equal. Nobody ever wanted Frosted, I maintain, except Cubehead. And that one guy in chat that said they wanted it. I don't think anyone ever wanted Frosted, and I couldn't understand why there was such a move towards Frosted. I suspect it's because it was cheaper to make than Gloss. In fact, it probably costs the same to make, but I reckon far more frosted cubes get through quality control at factories that I think they made the decision to focus on frosted because UV cubes just get returned. Sorry, not UV. Gloss cubes get returned. I remember having some infuriating arguments with people where they would just like send me, like in Cubers, like in our Cubers, when you see this person going, is this comp legal? And they've like used a space telescope to zoom in to this tiny part of a cube, and you're like, what? What is what legal? Yeah, I had a few interesting, annoying conversations with people about that, and I was just like, you want me to return this $10 Yujin non-magnetic square one because it's got the tiniest scratch in it? Okay, sure. I don't miss gloss, I'll be honest. Frosted once it's smoothed out is okay, yeah. Did you send that to help@speedcube? Oh, Ferrocore pics. You've gone to my junk mail. Yeah, I will visit link because I know who this is from. Okay. Here are some close-up pics. Thank you very much. Who sent? Oh, where's my chat gone? Whoops, I hid it behind a window. Thank you so much to Chang, whoever you are, for these Ferrocore close-up pics. Yeah, they're metal stocks, aren't they? That is a metal core. Metal core with a metal screw going into it. How interesting. Can you tell I've been Googling microphones? I want an SM7B, but far out they're expensive. Good grief, you're just going to have to cope with the sort of 2011 coded Blue Yeti, I'm afraid. Okay. So I'm assuming, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is like maybe that is 4 pieces screwed onto a plastic piece in the middle. But yeah, that looks very much like a metal core, doesn't it? Very metal. Okay. Chang, do you give us your review in the chat as well? Let us know if you rate the Ferrocore. I'm assuming you do. It looks pretty good. Thank you, Wesley, for the cringe outro submission. Remember, if you want to submit a bit of video for the outro, you can do that. Hold on a minute. Copy link. The link. Boop. Is there. My understanding, I don't know, James, but I think I would prefer to have, what I don't want is a USB, because that's what broke on this, and that's what always breaks on this microphone is the USB socket. I want the SM7B so I can have just an XLR cord going into my interface here, and then I'm not moving. Now I'm not using USB audio, I'm just using proper audio, and it's got real nice capsules in it. It's like an industry standard for a reason. It's a very epic microphone. If you want to submit a video to be part of the new outro, then you can do that at the link, which I have just pinned in my comments there. I've got a submission from Caden. I've got a submission from Wesley, but that's not enough. That's not enough. I want more submissions of people just waving like this for the outro. I'm going to put it together with just me and Caden and Wesley, and it'll be cringe until you submit more videos. John Baxter, official Timmy in the chat. Mike likes mics. Also, I need a submission from you as well, John. I just need a picture of you like this. A video of you waving to the camera like that. Just head and shoulders. That's all we're doing. I haven't got one for today. It's just the old outro today. But I want to improve that as we go forward. I think that's me for the day, everyone. Chang is not a fan. Fair enough. Fair enough of the Ferrocore, but it looks pretty cool. It does look pretty cool. I like that we're moving towards potentially metal cores, because my life would be easier if I didn't have to return so many broken plastic cores from fat-handed Timmies who just keep mashing them to bits. It's like, settle down. Settle down. It's been a long one today, everyone. It's been a little bit spicy today, everyone. I have been a bit zesty, but we had a great match. Great match between regular me and sarcastic me in the Mike Speedcubing League, the me 1 versus me 2 Speedcubing. Henry, are you actually just joining just now? 3 hours into the stream, just when I'm about to go. It was so long I had to have a pee and a snack break today. I'm going to go, everyone. Thank you to the sponsors, Speedcube Shop and Cubing Academy, as well as that, speedcube.co.nz, of course. Thank you to all my wonderful, wonderful channel members. You can become a channel member for just a couple of dollars a month. You know that? Wouldn't that be good? You'd love that, wouldn't you? Thank you, Josh. Thank you, John, who's in the chat just now. Thank you, Curious Nick, who's in the chat. Benjamin Handelman, Glenn's Cubing Corner, James Melby, you absolute legends. Thank you all for being a member. You get shout outs on all my video as well. You get to be on that little list that goes past the screen. And you can use outstanding little emoticons like John Baxter just has in the chat as well. It really goes a long way to supporting the channel, and I really appreciate your support. It's good to be back, everyone. It's good to be back. I've missed this, I have missed this. So we're back into our regular scheduled programming. I do have... Here's a cool story. My work life has changed a little bit this year. I'm no longer doing my marketing job for a company called Neat Places. So I'm not locked down on a Tuesday and Thursday anymore. Monday and Wednesday. So I'm a little bit more free with my schedule, but I do have the King's Trust work. So I'm doing a little bit more King's Trust stuff. I'm just working out where the best place to put the podcast is. I might want to move it to Friday, my time. I think I might be doing that. I think Fridays are the day that gets messed with the least, apart from public holidays. So I might be moving our regular day to a Friday, because I've had to move a lot of Thursdays, especially in season 3. And I want to be regular. I want to be consistent for you all. You know, it's important to be consistent. So I'm working on that. I'm still just kind of noodling away with the calendar. But anyway, I think that's the end of my cool stories, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being part of our little audience and listening to my cool stories. PSL is coming, and I'm excited for it, everyone. That is the TLDR of today's episode. I'm ready for the PSL. It's going to be fun. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.